behave like a dog with a bone on certain topics that he just will not let go of. Explain that.
Because it's completely insane. That's why.
I don't know about completely.
If it was just mildly insane, if it was mildly insane, I wouldn't say anything. But that is like crazily insane. Anyway, Strophy, I give him credit. I don't know how many. He's got over 160,000 views on him shuffling.
He brought this on himself.
It's the story of the day.
No, he loves. I mean, listen, he's an attention guy. He loves attention. He has gotten it.
Ooh.
And I think the interesting part of this, because Strophy is really good. Like, he does a great job on hosting the pregame. He has nuanced takes. I think he's a very good. He's a up and coming star at our station.
So for those of you that are new to the program or don't listen to KBN or haven't watched Mr. Irrelevant, Alex Strophy, one of our young rising stars of ESPN Wisconsin. He hosts Green Bay Game Day before games. We now have video not only of him doing the 3-cone drill. He decided to do all of the combine workouts. He produces KBN. He does a ton of stuff. We do Weekly Wilde together during the football season. He's a really talented cat. I can't believe...
No. He's a very verbally talented cat.
Well, I had heard stories that he played basketball at Denmark High School, that he was a good soccer player.
No, there's no way.
He knew
there's no way.
His own limitations when he decided to do this, and he chose to do it anyway, and it has not reflected, I would say, in the best of light in his athletic abilities. Is that a fair description?
So, here's how I would look at this. You can look at it two ways. And I am not one of the media / analysts that say you have to have played to give good insights. I disagree with that. Now, there's certain things where I feel like my expertise is going to be a hell of a lot better than some other people's that haven't played. That's just how I feel.
Totally agree.
That doesn't mean that you can't have an opinion and you can't do a great job driving a show, whatever. I don't know many athletes that are great show drivers. I haven't seen many. Even myself, when I have to host by myself, I don't like it.
Neither do the listeners.
Just kidding. Strophy. I didn't catch that. What you said?
I said neither do the listeners. I just wanted to get a zinger in there. I'm sorry.
Listen, I've always said the show is much better when you're here. I've never, and that's no shot at Jesse. A little bit. Strophy has little to no athleticism about him. And he has still chosen to go down the path of being in athletics. That makes it really hard. That tells you how much he loves sports. And I think his perspective is going to be so much different because he is going to look at athletes and he will be in awe. I can't believe you ran a 5.40, and most guys are like, that's slow. Well, no, not in the Strophy world. You jumped 24 inches vertical?
I think 17.
That sucks in the no, I know. That sucks in the sports world.
Yeah.
But for Strophy, that's like, oh, my God. So his perspective, while now I think some fans can look at it and say, why would I listen to someone that runs a 3-cone like that? And by the way, it is a fair criticism. If he's out criticizing someone's short end speed now, at Devontae Adams or whatnot, just roll that video. But his love of sports, usually if someone is really bad at something, they're going to go in a different direction. Mm-hmm. Strophy has leaned into it and has made his career. Now, granted, it's talking and
but
maybe
it's about
coaching
sports.
Rather than about sports.
Yeah.
But that yesterday, none of us. Strophy's 24 years old?
Something
should be
like
in
that?
the peak
mid-20s
of his life athletically. I'm going to make a wager right now because the success of this, he has to do this every year now. This is going to be, I would bet, because he's going to be taking all this shrapnel, And by the way, deserve it. The video is what it is. He will next year be much better. He is going to go and work out. He's going to tone. He's going to get more athletic. Because this isn't, a 48-year-old washed up, broken down former football player. This is someone should be in the prime of their life. And I'm guessing next year he is going to do this, and it will be in a much better clip on everything that he's done. That would be my guess.
So two things, and then we'll get to Jaire Alexander because that has really taken off that story and a few other things. But, one, I am fascinated, and I am on KBN today. I'm a Monday, Thursday guy on their program. I am really curious. Strophy knew going in what he was capable of. Like, he knows himself. Now, I don't think he's deluded into thinking that he's
a little delusional. He might
like
be a
Ben Brust
delusional.
Athlete or a Brad Nortman athlete.
But Jesse Nelson, if you would have asked Strophy 2 days ago if he was a better athlete than Jesse Nelson, he would have laughed that you even asked him. And now, after watching that, Jesse should be laughing that he is. And
just like
Jesse,
Ben
I don't know if you're up for this.
You for beating you in bowling.
I would love for you to either go to the pack or somewhere, and I would love for you to do just the 3-cone. Now I'm not asking you to do 40-yard dash. I just want to post videos side by side of you against Strophy. I'd be more than happy to take the video and to send that over to Maddie just to see. I would venture. You get to pick 2 or 3 things. I don't think you should do vertical. I don't think that's going to be a great look for you. But I think the running, I think you will make Strophy. You will look like Carl Lewis in comparison to Strophy.
And then you'll sing the national anthem like that.
When we used to watch Survivor as a family, my dad would always point out that when someone started talking at tribal council when they didn't need to, that's when they would often say something dumb and get voted out. I feel like I need to take that kind of approach here. Like, why would I run and why would I go and do this right now? Everyone,
I choose not to run.
I have the victory already. I don't need to do this. Like, I'm good. Like,
Usher George would be right
himself.
here. Yes,
like, I'm out. I'm good.
So you do not want to do that? Is that?
I walked out. I tossed a 223 on Friday for charity. That was amazing. Wally had a great time. Strophy did this yesterday. I got people telling me I'm a great golfer compared to his video resurfaced when he swung and missed 12 times at University Ridge trying to hit a golf ball a couple of years ago with Matt Hamilton. Like,
you're definitely a better athlete.
Resurfaced.
There is nobody going to argue that. So you do not. You choose not to run, a la Jerry.
I choose not to run.
It's fair.
I was proud of that
respect
reference.
that.
All right, so that's one. Two, I think you worked with this guy maybe during your NFL career. Maybe you didn't. But Scotty Smith, who has Synergy Sports up here, does a great job of training athletes, right? Trained Bulaga, trained a bunch of NFL guys, trains the Wilde girls.
I'm assuming this guy must sell ice cream. Right?
He does have ice cream bars. I think they're protein fortified.
He better, because otherwise, that goes against all rules.
I'm pretty sure you gave some advertising out the other day, unexpectedly, that took me by surprise.
The Prairie Athletic Club has been a great partner for years.
The other day, not just now. But be that as it may.
I don't recall.
I think we need to get Strophy some true training. Like legitimate training, and see if there's a transformation that could occur here. Because as you pointed out,
it's painful to watch.
You've played pickleball at what used to be the Grand Avenue Mall. Is that surface slippery? He looked like he was worried about
the surface.
Like footing.
The surface is fine. No, as I said yesterday when that came across our desk late in the show, he's shuffling like he's a 75-year-old man.
Every day I'm shuffling.
Listen, we all hope to get to that point. It looks like he should be shooting shuffleboard, like with the big long stick where you fire those little
Boca
things.
Vista. Yeah,
that is what it looks like. Strophy should be doing.
Yeah. Again, the question I have is: he knew what his physical limitations were going in. Why did he choose to do this?
He's an entertainer.
So he knew that for the good of the station, for the good of the YouTube viewers, for the good of us to have something to talk about, he said, I am going to subject myself to ridicule and scorn. This turn right here. That right there. I don't get it. I just don't. I thought he was putting us on. And I've had multiple people say, no, that's really how he ran.
Yeah.
So, again, I respect that he did this. I love people that do it for the bit. God bless him for doing it, but it has not reflected well on his youthful exuberance and athleticism.
67% of fans, by the way, on the Jim, Matt, and Molly poll question, who's the least athletic producer at all of ESPN Wisconsin? And it was a two-horse race, which I didn't appreciate. I feel like we could have got some other nominations in the mix, but Strofe, 67%, Jesse Nelson, 33% is where that stands.
Don't you kind of want to prove the 33% wrong?
I feel like
he's goading you.
I feel like I already have. I don't think I have anything left to prove.
Where do you think that poll would have been had it been taken 2 days ago?
Jesse, it would have been the other way.
It would have been the other way.
It would have been the other because Strofe is skinny. Now, Jesse's skinny, too, now.
Thanks to Madison.
So it's different.
Weight loss.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Madison, weight loss. Great partner.
Great partner.
I don't know if they sell ice cream or not.
Fighting against the ice cream, it would appear.
I think they specifically do not sell ice cream.
So you don't want to prove the 33% wrong.
Why? I have no reason to prove the 33% wrong. I have
the fact that 33% of
need.
people still, after watching that video, think you're less athletic.
Yeah, it's not very nice of them.
That would be troubling.
It's not very nice of them.
That would be troubling. Okay.
We saw the field goal kicking fiasco back in October.
Yeah, you blamed the inflation of the ball.
Which, by the way, I was listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly were getting after me pretty good yesterday, so I did tune into the show to see what they were saying. Molly Brown joined the show. She returns to the show on Tuesday from her maternity leave. Very exciting. And she did also state that the ball was very overinflated at Titletown when we attempted those field goals, because she also tried kicking one, and she was 8 months pregnant. But she played,
and she still kicked it farther.
She did, and she also has a lot more soccer experience than I, and said that she thinks she has the skill set. She would be able to at least get it pretty close, but the ball was too inflated. So we have a second opinion.
What was more inflated? What was more inflated, your ego or the football?
His ego was deflated after the football.
No, it got deflated.
Hey, I'm sure we'll do another show at Titletown with Associated Bank, another great partner that doesn't sell ice cream. And I will bring a pump and a myriad of footballs. You can choose the football. You can inflate it yourself, and we'll give you a do-over if you run the 3-cone drill at the Prairie Athletic Club.
Of course.
One thing that is undisputed is not who's the least athletic producer. It's not whether the football was overinflated at Titletown. One thing that is undeniably not open to debate is that
Jesse's trying to show his athleticism.
He's desperate.
Going down Bernie's slide.
He kind of likes attention too, and I think he would like to get some attention.
Well, I don't know why he's not. I'm not sure why he wouldn't do this.
Fair point.
He's not going to look this bad. I've seen Jesse. Jesse's golf swing and golf. I've seen enough.
He's a great pickleball player. Just ask him.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's what he told us. Yeah, that I'm not as certain about, but hopefully we'll have an opportunity to showcase that in a month or two. Mm-hmm. Fingers crossed. If that's the case, we will be able to see that, and then the 3-cone drill. 6 years. We've been doing this show with Jesse now for about 6 years. It's about right. It's a long time. A lot of stuff happened in the course of those 6 years. Jesse's done the slide. He's missed kicks. Lord knows what else. You know what? You can go from changing diapers to dropping your kid off at school. You can get a bachelor's, master's, 6 years. Oh, my God. And it can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pellet windows and doors of Wisconsin at 0% interest. 72 blanking months. 6 years of no interest financing. That is a deal. 10-year labor warranty, that's always included. Your windows and doors are secure for years to come. Certain restrictions do apply. This offer ends on March 8th. Set your free in-home consultation today at PelletWI.com.
All right, so Jesse does not want to run the 3-cone drill, but we're going to convince him, so just bear with us. I don't want you...
Potential bullying.
No, we're going to convince him that for the good of the show he should do. We're not going to bully
some
him.
Bullying.
It's light
There'll be
bullying.
a little bullying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a light bullying.
Mild bullying?
Slight bullying.
I think some colleges would qualify that as hazing.
No, not
Dude,
easy.
first of all, you're not new here. They only do that when you're new. We didn't do it 6 years ago. We're certainly not going to do it now. But I have something that I don't want you two knuckleheads to do. I reached out to a few current and former NFL general managers yesterday wanting to know. You're doing exactly what I don't want you to do.
Is John doing good?
To see what kind of return the Packers could get for Jaire Alexander. What I don't want you to
Seattle
do
would want him.
is to
Would Seattle
guess
want him?
who I might have reached out to. There were three of them.
How's Dorsey doing?
There
How's
were
John
three
doing?
of them.
Doing all right?
I don't want you to play that game. I do want to tell you
okay. I won't play
the
that.
myriad of responses I got.
Where's Ron Wolf at these days?
No, it'd be Elliott.
He's in Florida. But you guys are such jerks. Well, I wrote about it at channel3000.com. We'll talk about it next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
With a dedicated Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank knows what success looks like. For 15 years, we've been serving businesses, organizations, and individuals in the area with a long-standing commitment to the healthcare and not-for-profit sectors. Whether it's expansion to commercial payments, Fifth Third offers a full suite of financial services and solutions to navigate your organization's complex needs. Experience the difference with Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design.
Great impressions.
Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
Hey Bucks fans, it's Alex Stroh. Enjoy Michelob Ultra with me this Saturday night at Coach's Pub and Grill on South 13th Street in Milwaukee. I'll be at Coach's watching the Bucks take on the Dallas Mavericks starting at 7:30. Stop by for a chance to win Michelob Ultra prizes. Also enjoy Michelob Ultra at Papa Stash Big Bend, Maxwell's in Cedarburg, and State Street Pizza. We'll see you this Saturday night at Coach's Pub and Grill on South 13th for the Bucks game. Brought to you by Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks. Enjoy responsibly.
Comes to offering medical coverage to your employees, Saganiac Planning can coach you on ways to balance costs and prioritize care for your employees with coverage provided by United Healthcare. Call Steve Fluellen, 262-783-6161, 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service. Insurance coverage provided by or through United Healthcare Insurance Company or its affiliate. Administrative services provided by United Healthcare Services, Inc. or its affiliate. Health plan coverage provided by or through United Healthcare of Wisconsin, Inc. The Saganiac Planning Marquette Basketball Greatest Scorers. The Marquette Greatest Anything must include Dwayne Wade, but he only played 2 seasons, so he can't match the numbers of those with 3 or 4 years. But Wade is the leader of the 2-year club. Career average 19.7, among the best ever. Similar to Jim Jones' 2 years, 19 a game. And 2-year club, add Andrew Rousey. Like Wade and Jones, a season averaging over 20 points per game. Dwayne Wade, Jim Jones, Andrew Rousey, among the greatest scorers with only 2 seasons of play.
Guys, let's talk about something important. That's you. Hey, it's Brad Nortman. Taking care of your health and appearance isn't just about looking good, it's about feeling strong, confident, and ready to take on the world. At Quintessa Aesthetic Center, they make it easy. With experts in advanced skincare, body contouring, and anti-aging treatments, Quintessa's here to help you stay sharp and at your best. Trust me, when you look good, you feel even better. So why wait? Visit myquintessa.com and take the first step toward a more confident you.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Before we get to Jaire Alexander and what unnamed, anonymous, current and former NFL executives might have said about his trade value, Ed, via Twitter, circling back to earlier in the week, he must be a podcast listener, wanted to make sure that we understood. He is a Purdue grad, West Lafayette, Indianapolis, South Bend. If you tuned in earlier in the week, Tausch, who went to Indianapolis but did not stay for the scouting combine, was flummoxed by the changes in time zones within the state. And at least according to Ed, they are on standard time year-round, so half the year they're on Eastern, half the time they're on Central. But you said that you left West Lafayette and you changed time zones within the state, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. That part, I understand just staying on the same time zone all the time. I don't understand the in-state changes while you're driving across Highway 70 or whatever that is. All right, so in my correspondence with people who know more about trades than I do because they've executed them, I asked what the return would be in a Jaire Alexander trade. One of them said, not good. To which I said, well, what do you mean? Like 6th round pick? Maybe not even that. Now, a second person, I said, hey, this is what so-and-so said. What do you think? Oh, I think they would get more. I think he can still play. So that was opinion number 3 or 2. Opinion number 3 was I would ask for a 3rd and then settle for a 4th or a 5th. Of those 3 opinions, which one closely matches yours best? And knowing that Goody wants extra picks, knowing that you can get, say for a 5th round pick, a Corey Linsley, a Micah Hyde, that for a 5th round pick you can get a Dontavion Wicks, that for a 4th round pick you can get a Zach Tom or a Romeo Dobbs or a TJ Lang or a Josh Sitton or a Mike Daniels. Are you willing? How low will you go before you say it's not worth it? We'll just keep him and cross our fingers and hope. But I don't think they can do that either because I think they're going to want to get his contract number down. Where do you stand on this?
I think if you can trade him for something with some conditions is where I think this thing ends up going. And whether that starts as a sixth, and if it gets down to he plays a certain amount of snaps, you can get it all the way up to a 3rd. If they win a Super Bowl with him and he starts, that's great. If you end up getting a 4th or a 5th out of this, and I know other folks on Twitter have said, well, Stephon Gilmore got this, and what's-his-face, Lattimore got a bunch of stuff with Washington, gave up a bunch to New Orleans. All true. Just different scenario here. And it's more when there's some desperation and you get in the middle of the season and you feel like you're a championship team. The offseason's a little bit different. There's more options. There's more things on the horizon. So you could sit and wait. It's not what Green Bay is going to do. And I think if they get something with a baseline where they're getting a pick and then there's some conditions, then you wouldn't get the pick until next year. And that's that trade-off you have to have.
True.
I think if you get a fifth or a sixth, if you get a fifth, anything above a fifth, Goody bludgeoned somebody. If you get a fifth, I think that's about where if you feel like Jaire can play and you can get a new deal done with him, it's worth the risk on your end. And I think from Green Bay, you feel like we're getting another pick. Hopefully we can turn that pick into another Lindsley, Sitton, TJ type deal. And if you get that, you feel pretty good about it. But the big thing is you're moving on. And I think, even though yesterday I still am sitting here saying, just remember, not saying Jaire's back, just remember there's all these other things. But I just think, and it's not bad blood, I think it's time. I think there's time where it's better for all parties to try and figure that piece out, and that's why I think he'll be gone. And I think it'll be, if you get anywhere in a mid-round, I think you'd feel pretty good about it from Green Bay's standpoint.
All right, so I agree with everything you said there. Now, the follow-up question, though, is this. It only takes one team, and that's what I wrote in my story at channel3000.com, right? It only takes one team that is desperate enough at the position and has the extra trade capital and is willing to take the risk to get something good for them. There's 31 other teams. Somebody might feel that way. I mentioned Carolina because he's from Charlotte originally. Maybe they need a corner. Maybe that works out.
He was a captain there.
Yes, self-appointed. But as one of the executives said, he's a weird dude. How much does that weigh if you are the GM of not the Packers, but of one of the other teams that is interested? And does that make you want to try and drive the price tag for compensation down because it gives you pause because you don't know who the guy is that you're going to get? You're going to get the guy that was a second-team All-Pro in 2020 and 2022? Or are you going to get the guy where there were people in his own building wondering if he could have been playing at some point last year and wasn't?
I don't think the price tag is going to get to the point where you have to drive it down. Do I feel like there's going to be 5 teams clamoring? I know there's reports that all these teams wanted to get in the mix. I don't know what sourcing that is. I don't know how accurate it is. That could just be people throwing balloons up. The bottom line is if there's somebody that wants to go get Jaire, they can go get him. And from Green Bay's standpoint, you hope there are 2 or 3 teams. But this idea, well, we're gonna throw out a smear campaign to get it. You don't need to do that because he hasn't played. He hasn't been consistent enough. So you either say, I believe he can still play and I want him on our team. Go give up. I would bet right now if you went to Goody down in Indy and said, we'll give you a 4th for him, that paperwork would be dip, and boom.
Right. You're right.
Now, you're not going to want to do that. You're going to want to obviously give up the least amount you can. And I think that's what's going to end up happening. There'll be a few teams that will be willing to take a flyer on Jaire, but this concept of he's a number 1 corner, we're going to have to pay him this, and there's going to be all this extra Lattimore type comp, I don't see it. That doesn't mean there can't be one crazy team. I mean, who would have thought Luka Doncic would get traded?
Correct.
At this point, every time you think something, just say Doncic. And when you say that, you're like, well, crazy stuff happens. And maybe you call somebody and say, hey, we want a 1st for Jaire. And they'll say, okay, yeah, Doncic. Oh, 2nd-round pick? Yep, Doncic. And that's what you do. Don't think there's going to be a Doncic out there, but I don't think the Lakers thought there'd be a Doncic out there. And there's a Doncic in L.A.
They did apparently ask for Giannis, so they started with their high asking price as well.
They settled for Doncic.
So last thing, because there was apparently we can get into this later, a confrontation at the Starbucks in the JW Marriott in Indianapolis between Ian Rappaport and Jordan Schultz. Jordan Schultz works for Fox. Ian Rappaport works for the NFL Network. And it was regarding this. Tom Brady went out, golfing or skiing or something with Matthew Stafford in Montana. And there's reasonable question as to whether or not that is tampering, because he's a minority owner in the Raiders, and there's talk of the Rams potentially trading Matthew Stafford. And then in what surely felt like a walk that back to try and protect Tom Brady, I'm guessing maybe Don Yee was involved. It was a chance meeting. It was not, whatever. And so apparently Jordan Schultz, who I don't know if he's a good guy, bad guy, whatever. But apparently there was a confrontation there about the way the response to his story was framed. In the case of Jaire's story coming out yesterday, in fact, a subsequent tweet from Ian Rappaport that said that he has a very tradable contract. We know how the game is played, right? Agents use, the exchange of information as part of the transaction. Obviously, even though Goody flat out said, and I use the quote in my story at channel3000.com, that he doesn't give permission to players' agents to seek trades, he acknowledged that agents do it anyway. So the fact that this came from what appears to be the agent's end, Tausch, and that he's trying to drum up interest, does that tell you anything?
You're talking about Jaire, or are you talking about Stafford? Or are you
I'm talking about Jaire. I'm using the...
Okay. I thought you were talking about coffee and... Yes, Jaire just wants out. And I think, from his perspective, I think the best thing would be is just to get cut. I don't think there's a... I want to be traded to this spot. He wants to get cut, and then he could pick where he goes. Right. And he can pick the structure of what it looks like. There's not any more guarantees on his contract. So... if I'm him, I look at this and say, you know what? My time has come. I am not going to, if you really want to play hardball, and I don't think Jaire is in this spot, you say, I'm not reporting anywhere. Like Gronk. Gronk was traded to the Detroit Lions and said, no, I'm not going there. No.
And we agree that this is what Jaire wants. He does not.
Jaire wants a clean break. He is not interested in
100%.
Green Bay controlling where he goes. Why on earth would he want that? He didn't want to go. Maybe he wants to go to Carolina. He can be a captain. He wants to be able to dictate where he goes and what that contract might look like. And from Green Bay's standpoint, somebody texted me this morning. The best reason to trade him,
John Schneider,
even if you don't get anything, you get a seventh. The best way, because then you keep him out. You keep him away.
Correct.
From the Vikings, Detroit.
Correct.
Bears. So. Maybe there's a point where and that's why I brought that up yesterday, because Detroit to me would make a lot of sense. They're a really good team. You want to find a motivating factor for Jaire. There would be nothing more motivating. He's probably very, very, very frustrated about how his tenure in Green Bay ended. So from the Packers standpoint, I don't think they feel that Jaire is great enough that it's going to be some big pendulum swing, whether he goes. But I think in a perfect world, they'll say, you know what, let's send him off to Siberia, a.k.a. Tennessee, or the Raiders, somewhere where we're not going to see him. It's not as cold. Obviously, Siberia is a lot colder than Vegas / Nashville.
Indeed.
But it's not about the temperature. It's about how the team is and how much of an impact it will have on your bottom line. And if you send Jaire there, it will be, we don't even know what he's doing. If he's in Minneapolis or he's in Detroit, all of a sudden that's gonna you're gonna get those coals heated up, and it might be worth it from Green Bay standpoint. Listen, oh boy, I don't know who Tennessee's GM is. Hey, oh boy, give us a seventh. Jaire's down for you. You figure it out. And that might be good enough just to control where he goes. I just don't feel like he's at that point where people are going to be that concerned about what he ends up doing.
Yeah, and while I agree with you on the idea of having conditions so it can go up, you kind of answered your own question, too, of that means it's got to be a 2026 pick. And Goody was very clear that he wants more picks in this draft. So I would think that that would be a motivator for him as well. All right, we'll shift gears away from Jaire. Want to remind you, though, that good days start with a great night's sleep on a new Tempur-Pedic mattress from Steinhafels. Tempur-Pedics support the body like no other mattress, making aches and pains a thing of the past. Queen Tempur-Pedic mattresses start at just $52 per month when you use Steinhafels special 60-month financing. Plus, you'll get $300 in Steinhafels cash. Isn't it time that you got a great night's sleep on a new Tempur-Pedic? Shop in-store or online at steinhafels.com. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
You can accomplish quite a lot in 6 years. You go from changing diapers to dropping your child off at school. You can get a bachelor's and a master's degree. And you can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella windows and doors at 0% interest. You get so much more than stunning windows and doors. It's the Pella experience. Talk about quality control. Pella manufactures, sells, installs, and services every product. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 3/8/25.
Introducing the newest carbless flavor, Mango Vodka. Flavored with the essence of the ripest, freshest mangoes, carbless mango vodka will transport your taste buds to a sunny beach getaway. New flavor, still the same carbless crafted cocktails with 0 carbs, 0 sugars, and only 100 calories. Enjoy a refreshing vodka cocktail without the guilt. 4 packs of the new carbless mango vodka cocktail are available in stores near you. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com and escape with every sip.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as 1 business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Wisconsin is still cattle country. And that's why Bunzel's chose to stay close to home to hand select the finest beef. Quality goes into everything they do, from Bunzel's expansive array of meats, homemade specialty sausages, and their award-winning beef jerky. It just isn't a proper holiday meal without Bunzel's top quality cuts on the dinner table. Tasting is believing. Visit Bunzel's at 90th and Burleigh or bunzels.com.
Join Milwaukee Panthers men's basketball for an exciting weekend of hoops action at UWM Panther Arena. On Thursday, Milwaukee takes on Oakland at 7, followed by a Saturday matinee with Detroit Mercy at 3. Experience all the action, including rim-rattling dunks, clutch three-pointers, and game-changing blocks. Tickets start at $13. That's Milwaukee Panthers men's basketball this Thursday at 7 and Saturday at 3. Visit MKEPanthers.com for tickets. Panther Athletics for the MKE.
The second half of the basketball season is here, and the race to the playoffs is heating up on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on your favorite sports. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. The app is really simple to use. Pick 2 or more players across any sport, pick more or less on their projection, and you can win up to 1,000 times your money. Don't miss your chance to cash in as the league's best fight for playoff positioning. Join Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. Available to play in more than 40-plus states, including California and Texas. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code WI. Get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code WI on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 for just playing. Guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Jesse, how is this conversation playing out on the Carbless talking text line?
We talking the Jaire conversation, or are we talking the Stroph combine conversation?
Oh, you just want an opportunity to run down someone else.
Well, I
so
do.
disappointed.
It makes me feel good. Don in Mayville texted this, and I flashed this up here a moment ago in the last segment.
And we ignored it. Yeah.
Something for Jaire is better than nothing you'll get if you just cut him.
Yeah, and Tausch made the more important point beyond that, which is it allows you to control where he goes to some degree, as opposed to allowing him to sign with the Lions, and then he plays all 17 games and regains his all-pro form and picks off Jordan Love in a playoff game. Whether or not he's still capable of that, I don't know.
What do you think the odds are of that?
I don't know. The guy's just turned 28. Like, it's not like he's washed. But he takes managing, clearly.
We've seen guys bounce back. We've seen things change. Jaire's talent is obvious to everybody. But the thing that I'm nervous about, or if I was picking up Jaire, would be, has he been the same player since that fateful day where he brought the wood against whatever his name was from
Najee Harris,
Pittsburgh Steelers?
Are you paying him to tackle, or are you paying him to cover?
He has not been the same player since then. What?
Are you paying him to tackle, or are you paying him to cover? Because here's the thing. In fairness to him, and you would agree with this, before that fateful day, he was a willing, able, and frankly tenacious tackler.
Dog.
But there's plenty of corners in the league that don't really tackle, that cover really well.
That was part of his deal, though.
But it's not like he can't be physical with receivers at the line of scrimmage. Doesn't mean he can't be physical jockeying for the ball. He just doesn't tackle the way he did before that injury. I agree with you. But, again, if he's healthy and happy, he turned 28 on Super Bowl Sunday. So it's not like he's going to turn 29 in a month. Like, he is still young enough. There could be plenty of good football left in him, and that would be if you are in the Packers fan base that's like, look, if we're not going to get much for him, let's just keep him. I don't see that happening. I could be wrong, but I have a hard time imagining him in a Packers uniform next year.
It certainly doesn't feel that way, but again, as I said yesterday, certainly felt like Aaron Jones was going to be the running back for the G&G last year, and that, of course, didn't happen. So there's a few differences. Jaire, he still can play, and this is a position of need. I don't know if you'll be able to go find a Josh Jacobs to replace Jaire, but it just feels like this. The ball is too far, or the rock is too far down the road, however you want to put it, and it's time to move along. So now it comes down to, where do you want to put him? Where do you want to not have him go? And it's almost you're playing more defense than offense. And maybe I'm misreading the market.
No, you're not. I would push back on you.
But we don't know. We don't know.
I would push back on you on, we thought Aaron Jones was going to be a Packer. Yeah. How many times has it gone the other way? Like, you just cited one, Devontae's another, where you thought a guy was going to be back, and then he wasn't. And he talked like a guy would be back, and he wasn't. How many times has he talked about a guy with the we'll see, and we're not really sure, and we got to work through that, and the guy ended up coming back? I don't know if there's any examples of that.
Very low amount, yeah.
Jesse, you got another text or two before we move on?
I do. I want to point out that Sean sent this all by himself. We are not manufacturing any of the conversation. Who is the more complicated fella, Aaron Rodgers or Jaire Alexander? Sean in Sun Prairie asks us.
Great question. Jason?
Sean, we appreciate your question. It's a really good question.
He's a complicated fella.
Oh, the answer is Aaron Rodgers.
Right, but I would say this. The point of the question, and I'm not answering it, but the point of the question is that there's more than...
By the way, you just did. You agreed with me.
I did, but I didn't answer it. You answered it, and I agreed. Circle gets the square. The point of that question is there's more to it than just can the guy play football or not. Right? I mean, are you willing to take on the other stuff that comes with that player? Whoever it is.
I'll say this.
Say this.
When you start saying that that's the point, that means you're not as good a player as you were. Because in the grand scheme of things, guys will put up with a lot. Mm-hmm. If you a dog, if this was 3 years ago, there ain't any, he's complicated. Yeah, we'll deal with it. Yep. Mm-hmm. Like Charles Woodson when he came. His first year was a mess.
Yep.
Then it was the next couple years, it was let Charles do his thing. Charles is going to show up. He's going to ball on Sunday. We're good. We're good. And Charles is nowhere near where Jaire has been at. And, there was obviously a lot of stuff. But if you are a dog and you're a great player.
Talent outs.
All of this other stuff is completely moot.
You're right.
Unless it's criminal. You're going to be able to – that's just how this works. And you manage that the best you can, but you want the performance. Jaire is not at the point where the performance is there. A, because he's not out there consistently enough. But let's not say, well, that is an excuse to say a deuce is B more so than anything else.
Fair. It's very fair. All right, one more.
Yeah. Mark in a truck comes in pretty hot here. Jaire is a cancer to the team. Try to get a box of Quick Trip banana dunkers for him in a trade, and that'd be great.
Ooh, the banana dunkers are good. I still like the chocolate and just the regular old dunkers better, but I am a fan of the banana dunker.
Quick
Pink
power
lemonade
ranking.
was unexpected.
Quick power ranking of the dunkers. Go.
Ooh.
Blueberry number 1.
Blueberry's
it's
1.
No, not mine. It's in the top 5.
Cherries 2.
Cherry is very good.
No.
Cherries 2. I think the original, like the vanilla, is number 3. Love a good vanilla.
Yeah, the banana's not my top 3.
I haven't had the banana yet.
No.
Yep.
Not my top 3.
Yep.
Chocolate. Chocolate's good.
Number 5, cherry. Number 4, blueberry. Number 3, banana. Number 2, vanilla. Number 1, chocolate.
So we
said it's just chocolate. Chocolate's gonna always be
pink
low
lemonade was weird. It took. I was not pink lemonade. It was not what I expected.
Okay.
It was a summery flavor, but I'm sticking. Chocolate is. I'm telling you that I don't even like most chocolatey things, but a chocolate dunker is number 1 for me.
So are we saying no to the banana dunkers for Jaire? Or are we going like we need the blueberry ones?
No, I want blueberry.
Yeah.
I want those mini
cherry.
tacos.
Blueberry.
I like the mini tacos.
Mozzie sticks. Give me some mozzie sticks.
Oh, yeah.
Quick Trip makes a heck of a mozzie stick. Yeah, I don't know. I think the chocolate, to me, this might sound crazy, and obviously I'm a heavier set
Probably
fella.
is. Mm-hmm.
Chocolate needs to be in bar form, and you need to be able to crack it off. I am not interested in chocolate muffins, chocolate ice cream. It has to be in bar form, preferably with an almond or some type of nut. Outside of that, I'm not a monster chocolate fan.
And that's my
by the
point
way,
about
my
the
cocoa
dunker.
guy, cocoa prices leveled out. They leveled out. Now, there's other issues coming into play, but the price of cocoa, pretty level.
So does that mean you got a Coco Chad situation on your hands here, or your information was not reliable?
This guy's actually no. He predicted the spike, and it happened. No, I have not asked him in a while.
Do you
He
have
didn't
an egg
love the
guy?
fact that
You got an egg
he
guy?
didn't love the fact. He didn't love the fact that I brought it up, and so I'm not mentioning names. He didn't mention anything about it. I haven't talked to him in a while about it. I talked to him today about it, and he said it's leveled off and it's not bad. So
just to your point, I tend to agree with you. I don't like chocolate ice cream and other things. That underscores how much I love the chocolate dunker, is that I'm not a chocolate guy, and it's that good. So,
like a muffin? If you're having a muffin, I want it to be vanilla or lighter. I don't like chocolate, but if you throw a chocolate chip in there, I'm okay.
Chocolate cake?
The idea of definitely lower on my power ranking.
That's crazy. I love chocolate, everything.
I want to see how agile you are compared to Strophe, because our quick trip read is scheduled later in the program. But do you have the 3-cone drill agility to shift gears and talk about quick trip?
Life's busy. Quick Trip gets it. Whether you're craving that fresh coffee, a tasty bakery treat, chocolate dunker, blueberry dunker, whatever kind of dunker, quick grab-and-go meal, Quick Trip is your go-to. Food is here. Quick Trip has a variety of apps and meals. You just heard us talk about those beautiful mozzie sticks. They got Don's Pizzas, 4 for $10, $3.99 each. But wait, there's more. Of course, there's always more. Hot dog or hamburger buns for 99 cents a package? What? Nature's Touch milk for $2.99? Huh? Urge chips and popcorn 2 for $3.50? What? How about soup? Warm up with soup bags on sale. $6.99 every Tuesday, and I can't get through talking about Quick Trip without mentioning that chicken. Oh, you know that's right. Roasted whole chicken on special, $6.99 on Mondays. Whether it's a quick bite or dinner on the go, Quick Trip is the ultimate destination. Fuel your day with quality taste. Download the Quick Rewards app. Take advantage of all Quick Trip has to offer. Quick rewards on every visit. Plus, you can order ahead for pickup or curbside delivery. I'm going to say something what I wish Quick Trip would do, and I don't love giving advice to partners. But what I want to do...
Especially in the middle of the reads.
Okay. Reserve car wash spot times. Fast Pass. Because they've been so busy. I went and fueled up the other day. Put in, and normally it's kind of annoying. I'm not a big fan of, do you want a car wash? If I want a car wash, I'll do it. But it always comes up on the screen. So I hit the button to get a car wash. Didn't go look at the line. Everybody wants that car wash.
Problem. That's your problem.
It's that time of year.
Have some
I'm not
awareness.
arguing.
All
I'm saying is
car wash awareness.
Early morning car wash.
Is there any way we could get like a Fast Pass Quick Trip car wash?
Just for you.
In these March and April days.
Would you pay extra for it?
You would. Absolutely.
They would have to. They would have to redesign their entire lines to pull into the car wash to have a
But
Fast
Tausch is
Pass
inconvenienced, so let's do it.
No, you could do like a
have them back
I
in
asked
from
if there
the
was
front
a
of
way.
it.
I'm not saying there was or not. All I'm saying is it's great. You have the car wash, and it was just Jimmy Jam because everybody wants to get. By the way, Quick Trip. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for finishing that.
Well, you guys stop interrupting me. Maybe I'd be able to finish it earlier, but that's another.
If this partnership continues, which has been a great partnership, it would appear your hope is that the Sun Prairie Quick Trip has an old T lane. And you can get your special.
This was not a Sun Prairie Quick Trip.
Oh, there's so many of them. They can't build old T lanes at every single one of their car washes. More Wilde and Tausch. Straight ahead. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Championships are won in the offseason.
What I think the most positive thing about the Packers is, going into next season, is how well Goody has drafted in the last couple drafts. Making me think he can do it again, and that will improve the team at a level that they can win the division.
Get all your green and gold moves with a Homer Hour. Mondays through Fridays from 5 to 7 on 94.5 ESPN and streaming live on the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channel.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this winter? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
Nestled along the shores of Lake Michigan, the Knickerbocker Hotel offers a timeless escape in the heart of Milwaukee. Immerse yourself in the rich history of this iconic landmark where charm meets modern luxury. Picture yourself enjoying breathtaking lake views, luxurious rooms, and dining at one of the finest restaurants in the city. Whether you're visiting for a weekend getaway or a special occasion, the Knickerbocker promises an unforgettable experience. Your perfect stay awaits at the Knickerbocker Hotel. For more information and to book your next stay, visit knickerbockeronthelake.com.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart, located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. National Liquor Mart is packed with deals for all your beverage needs, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily.
The Bucks saw their 4-game winning streak come to an end as they fell to the Houston Rockets 100-97 down in the Lone Star State. Rebounding and turnovers did the Deer in as they got beat on the boards 53-37, including 16-4 on the offensive glass to go along with 13 turnovers. Giannis paced Milwaukee with 27 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists in the loss.
Here comes Giannis the other way. Across the midcourt logo, goes rumbling down low. Blasts into his man, contact, no whistle. Lopez sends it back to Giannis, and Giannis staples it down with a big two-hand slam on a rack attack.
The Bucks dropped to 32-25 on the season. They're back home at Fiserv Forum Thursday night when they welcome the Denver Nuggets to the Brew City.
This has been the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart.
Kevin Morat, Mentality founder here with a wake-up call. You're running on fumes, gentlemen. Just 1/3 of the free testosterone you need. That's why you're drained, defeated, and disgusted with your progress. But here's the truth. Mentality doctors specialize in epic comebacks. Our clients show an increase of 30% testosterone levels within the first month. We don't just treat men, we reignite lives. Just imagine the focus, energy, and drive being restored. Your comeback starts now. Don't wait. Make this your best year yet. Start today at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Who's looking for a deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub, a bag of chips or regular fry, a regular fountain beverage, and cookie at cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app for just $10. Now that's a better deal. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Available at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Got to get to the 10 o'clock hour. Do you think we've successfully bowed the Jaire Alexander conversation, or did you want to put a bow on it? I know you love a good bow.
Yeah,
how soon does this happen?
I think the parameters are in place. Probably. When does the combine end? It's Monday?
Tuesday, maybe later, actually. Might not be until
I would say you'll
Wednesday.
start hearing some leakage. You'll hear a little leakage probably from Starbucks Kid and the other one, Rap Sheet or whoever,
Starbucks
Shefty.
Kid.
And I would guess you'll hear some leakage probably by the end of the combine, and it should get wrapped up. I think Green Bay, hopefully you'll get a 5th or a 6th. I'd feel pretty good about that if that's where we're at.
Yeah, that would put a bow on it for sure.
Yep.
Well, we literally were trying to bow it.
No, I'm bowed up. I'm totally on board with your bowing. Totally on board.
Meanwhile, Matt in West Bend.
So, do you, as the story guy, not the fan guy, you hoping he goes to Minnesota or Detroit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You knew the answer to that question. Or the Bears. I'll even settle for the Bears. Matt in West Bend. How about a Willy Wonka-style golden car wash ticket in the Dunkers boxes? I just don't understand how logistically you cut into line.
How do the people know that are in front of you that you have a golden ticket?
Well, you got to show it off like Wayne and Garth with their backstage
But then
pass.
people got to back out.
Correct. This is the problem with your idea.
It'll be tough.
It's born of your feeling inconvenienced.
Either that or they build a separate standalone golden car wash that is only available to the VIPs.
Feasible.
Yeah.
That won't be economically feasible. So maybe there's something where you just get somebody out there with a pressure washer. Jason, you love pressure washing. It's your hobby.
It's one of my hobbies.
Why don't you sign up to go to one of those quick trips, get out there with a pressure washer, and start washing cars? Hey, Jesse's got to wash Bruss's car in his banana hammock yet, so you two could go do like a car wash for charity.
Can we not do that imagery? Is that even necessary?
It's not even what I agreed to.
That's what's supposed to have happened.
Meanwhile, on the mean streets of X,
oh boy,
Adam Schefter posting head on a swivel as he goes to the Starbucks in Indianapolis.
That's fun. That's fun.
Sounds to me like Jordan Schultz and Ian Rappaport need to sit down at the hotel bar instead of the Starbucks and just have a Coors Light and hash some things out. And
that's a good idea.
Chill.
Coors Light is brewed with that 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and cold package, so it's made to chill. Beautiful out. Well, this morning it is gorgeous. Going to be 50-plus degrees again today. So now we got to get back. Make sure that those mountains on Coors Light's cold-activated bottles and cans are blue. Make sure it is chilled to perfection. That's why it is Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Don't be throwing fists with other NFL insiders. Choose to chill. Choose Coors Light.
We'll kick off the
responsibly. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company. Golden, Colorado.
And we'll see you next time. See, this is why endpoints on these are valuable. And you kind of, I don't know if you forgot the end point of that one.
That wasn't my best.
He keeps doing 90%
It was one of my better
reads,
but not one of my better endings.
You know what they need to do? Yeah. They need to have a golden ticket for car washes. We need to get to the 10 o'clock hour. And what I want to get to is something that I believe you two touched on Friday, which is almost a full week ago now, about the Packers rookie class and a piece that our friend Rob Domofsky did. Then we'll play double trivia. We got to do it today and tomorrow because we didn't play yesterday. So we'll do that during the 10 o'clock hour, and the 10 o'clock hour starts in 2 minutes. So stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
As a bull rider, I prefer to do things single-handedly. That's why I love the UW Credit Union app. Doggy! It lets me check accounts, make transfers and more on the go. And if I need an extra hand, UW Credit Union has 13 Milwaukee area branches. Yippee! So, if you want simple mobile banking, mosey on over to UW Credit Union. They're here for every y'all. Federally insured by NCUA.
For more than 40 years, Network Health has been the trusted experts in health plans. Just like you, they're honest, hardworking, and grateful to call Wisconsin home. Whether you're seeking coverage for yourself, your family, or your employees, Network Health has you covered with a range of options, including individual and family marketplace plans, employer plans, and Medicare Advantage plans. Call Steve Llewellyn, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service. The Saganiac Planning Marquette basketball greatest scorers. Marcus Howard has all the records at Marquette, and his greatness might also be best explained by saying he passed George Thompson. Thompson, 1,773 points when finishing in 1969. It was the Marquette career mark until 2009, 40 years later. And with Marcus Howard, Thompson the only player averaging over 20 points per game for a career. George Thompson, not number one, but he belongs in the same room with Marcus Howard.
When you don't compromise on the court, you shouldn't compromise off of it either. Lose the calories, not the taste. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Copyright 2024.
Hey, Bucks fans, enjoy Michelob Ultra at Maddie's Bar and Grill, New Berlin. Party Time Golf and Sports Bar in Colgate. Route 41 Bar and Grill, Oak Creek. Moran's Pub in South Milwaukee. And Coach's Pub and Grill, Milwaukee. Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Hey, this is Gabe Neitzel. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. And now everyone is applauding, including our friend Rob Domofsky, that Adam Schefter is feeding into the Jordan Schultz on Ian Rappaport beef at the Starbucks in the JW Marriott in Indianapolis. So hope everyone's enjoying that. We're going to stay above the fray. That's what we do here. Rob did do a very interesting, very, very, very interesting piece on ESPN.com last week looking at the Packers draft class. And if you looked at how good Edgerrin Cooper was, Javon Bullard was, Evan Williams was, it's a pretty good class. Mm-hmm. Rob's point was that they got next to nothing out of Jordan Morgan, Marshawn Lloyd, and Tyron Hopper, which I think is a fair point. Jordan Morgan, as we talked about with Brian Bulaga yesterday, which I highly recommend if you missed his appearance yesterday. There's some really interesting stuff there. So check it out on Wisconsin On Demand or where you get your podcasts or on the YouTube channel. But Jordan Morgan's going to be a starter next year. The question is where? He had the shoulder surgery. It ruined his rookie year. Marshawn Lloyd may have had the unluckiest rookie season in Packers history. I mean, he's just about to finally come back, and he gets an emergency appendectomy? Not great, Bob. And Tyron Hopper, you know, we went into the season not knowing a lot about Edgerrin Cooper because he'd missed time in
Dennis
training camp.
Hopper. Hoosiers, R.I.P. Gene.
Rest in peace, Gene Hackman, who died at age 95 overnight. And apparently, it was his wife, and his dog, who all passed away in their New Mexico home. And there is an opinion. There are reports that it has nothing to do with foul play, which always leads me to wonder if, in some way, carbon monoxide or something is involved there, because that is tragic and really sad. And he is one of my favorite actors, and I do love Hoosiers, which he famously told Dennis Hopper was going to ruin both their careers. He thought it was going to be so bad. And it turned out to be one of his most beloved films, and he was wrong about that.
My team's on the court.
Yes, with Rafe on the bench because he wouldn't do what I told him to do. But anyway, Tyron, no relation to Dennis, who I believe has also passed away, R.I.P. to him, Hopper. Boy, they get something out of those three guys. Now you're really talking. Now you're cooking. That's a pretty big if, at least with.
I think Marshawn Lloyd has the. I mean, obviously, Jordan Morgan is going to be a critical piece to however Green Bay approaches their offseason at the offensive line. First-round picks are always going to be given that opportunity. But Marshawn Lloyd will be interesting to me because I think they felt pretty good, obviously with Josh Jacobs, but they felt good. You feel like, for as much as I love Josh Jacobs, I think they want to get a home run hitter, someone that can take one to the crib. Is that Marshawn Lloyd? I don't know. I don't know if they know.
Like a little rocket in the backfield is how Jordan Love described him.
Okay, well then that would let you know that that's probably the role that they think. I think he will have an opportunity outside of Jordan. And I mean, you just mentioned those three guys. There's obviously other players, Glover and Kalen King is going to get opportunities, especially if Jaire goes. There's going to be other opportunities, but this draft class is going to be successful if Edgerrin Cooper stays on his trajectory and Evan Williams stays on his trajectory, and if Jordan Morgan becomes a really good starter, it's a really good class. Mm-hmm. And then anybody else you get, you sprinkle, you're going to say it gets better and better. And guys going to get opportunities, but the beautiful part of this is you just said those three names, and I'm thinking to myself, outside of Jordan, it ain't going to really matter. It'll be great. That's an ice cream on top ice cream cake type deal. This isn't a case where you need these guys to be dogs. You don't. Jordan needs to be a really good player.
Yeah.
Outside of that, if everybody else on this list, and I always have my little handy draft list right here. Anybody else on this list doesn't pan out, you're going to be all right. And that's why, the draft, if you're 50% and you get a dog like Edgerrin Cooper, now he has to get more consistent. But I don't think anybody here is down on him. We knew when they drafted him he was going to be an impact player. I think we saw the splashes of what we love, and we just want to see more of it. And Evan Williams is Micah Hyde 3.0, according to Jason Wilde. He's a really good player. The rest of this draft class, if it doesn't pan out, I don't think we're going to be missing a beat. It'd be great if a couple other guys did, especially Marshawn. But outside of that, we want good special teams players, guys that are going to be consistent. And then if you get one more, if Jacob Monk elevates, okay, that solves a problem. But you don't need it. You hope, and that's the position you want to be in as a drafter. You don't need everybody to be stars. You get a couple, and you get solid players. That's how you build championship rosters.
It's true, but again, you also have a draft class that is coming to maturity and free agency a year from now, which included Quay Walker, Devontae Wyatt, Christian Watson, Sean Ryan, Romeo Doubs, Zach Tom, Kingsley Enagbare, and Rasheed Walker. That's 9 guys out of that class, but you don't get to keep them forever. And you have you're talking about 60% of your offensive line being in a walk year, and a fourth guy in his walk year who just finished his walk year who's going to be a free agent. So there's a lot of moving pieces here. And the one undeniable reality is that Jordan Morgan needs to be a dog, as you like to say.
He needs to be a guy. You draft a guy in the first round. You want him to play immediately, especially on the O-line, but you've gotten basically a redshirt year. He did get to get out there and play. He would have been a collegiate redshirt with the amount of games he was able to play.
Correct.
And now he gets a full off season to get healthy, get stronger, understand what he needs to be the guy. But the interesting storyline there is going to be, has he changed his tune? I'll be fascinated when you get a chance to see him. Is his mindset changed? Is he now, whatever the team wants, or his initial thoughts when he got drafted was, I'm going to be the left tackle for the G&G. And the G&G did not feel that way.
No.
How's Jordan? How does that adjustment going to be? Because I'd be shocked. Rasheed Walker played good enough. I don't think you're always looking to add competition, but Rasheed Walker be the starting left tackle for the G&G. It's going to be where Jordan Morgan, you're going to be left guard. That would be my guess. And then Elton slides over to center. and away we go.
Is Rasheed Walker the left tackle in 2026?
Listen, dude. We're not even into 25 yet. Like, come on. Come on.
Dude, you're wanting to extend Tucker Kraft.
Hey, dude.
And he's not even eligible for an extension. Dude.
Because I know the dog he is. I know the dog that he is. The question's going to be, you're going to pay Zach Tom $25 to $30 million a year. Are you going to reset and go over there, or are you going to pay Rasheed Walker? Going to have to pay him similar dollars. Are you going to put $50 million into your tackles? The answer should be yes if you feel like that's where Sheed's at. I think they think Sheed's a really good player. Sheed would be somebody that you'd want to get in front of. Get out in front of. I don't know. Is he eligible to be extended to? He's a good player.
He is. So I'm not sure why you duded me there, but yes, he's eligible for
you're
an
asking,
extension.
what do you
right
think
now.
at 28? What do I always tell you?
I
in the
didn't say
NFL?
28. You have to decide, are you going to extend him or not? If you extend him, he's your left tackle of the future and the present. If you don't, that means you might want to play Jordan Morgan there and let him walk because you think he's okay but not good enough. It's a worthwhile question.
It's a question. It will tell you a lot about what you think if Jordan Morgan now goes out and is competing at left tackle. But I think you could still go in this year, say, all right, we will get Sheed. If we can get Sheed at 20 a year, great, we'll bring him in. If he is going to want top market and he plays great, then you can look at franchising. I just don't know how that will shake out. It will be the most one of the most interesting parts.
Interesting.
And what?
You were so dismissive of that question. It was a little irritating, frankly. Let's play trivia. Dude, let's play trivia. We have to do double trivia. Jesse, we are doing your leftover Andy North trivia today, or are we saving that for tomorrow and doing geography?
Today is Tausch.
What?
Today is Wisconsin geography trivia because we had double ready to go yesterday and we didn't end up getting to it.
Yeah,
so
perfect.
Double geography
Car
today.
wash trivia.
Just don't want you to be
Chocolate
upset.
trivia.
You love geography trivia. It's your favorite category for trivia.
Yeah, I do love it.
So
100%.
So as we go into the announcement of the category, I don't want you to be like, oh, it's got to be draft trivia today, dude.
I said travel trivia, meaning geography.
Oh, okay.
No one has ever called it travel trivia, ever.
I should have known. I apologize.
I just did.
Washington.
What do we end up talking about? Latitudinally. Tausch is driving from so-and-so to such and such. Blah, blah, blah.
Don't justify. It's never been called travel trivia. Put it in your calendar. Now, which callers would you like?
8 and 16.
8 and 16. 414. 844-770-3776. 844
Two false start penalties there.
I'm Rasheed Walker. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776.
Is she the jumper?
76. I think he had some early in the season. He had some false start and holding penalties. Remember, he did not.
He had holding penalties.
He
I
did
don't
not
remember a bunch of
particularly
jumping.
enjoy these series of questions regarding his penalty numbers early in the year. 844-770-3776. Here's a bunch of Packers and Jesse on the video stream. 844-770-3776. Caller 8 and caller 16 will play next after Tausch tells us about Kohler Services, who will travel to your home to renovate your bathroom.
Oh, indeed they will. And if you've been putting off your bath or shower remodel, I don't know what to tell you. Get to it. It is time to turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, 0 interest and 0 financing for your Lugstone shower remodel. And you get a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Trivia's next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. All day, every day, the Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
Right now, more than 100,000 children waiting in foster care need our help. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is focused on finding them safe, permanent homes. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Bull riding. The perfect fusion of strength, skill, and pure willpower. Professional bull riders aren't just athletes. They're daredevils with cowboy souls. Come experience the true modern West, where 8 seconds of glory will create a lifetime of memories. It's PBR Milwaukee at Fiserv Forum Saturday, March 1st and Sunday, March 2nd. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com and PBR.com. Hold on tight. The ride of your life is about to begin.
You can accomplish quite a lot in 6 years. You go from changing diapers to dropping your child off at school. You can get a bachelor's and a master's degree. And you can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella Windows and Doors at 0% interest. You get so much more than stunning windows and doors. It's the Pella experience. Talk about quality control. Pella manufactures, sells, installs, and services every product. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 3/8/25.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
When it comes to used cars, there's the rest, then there's the best. Shop Wilde Automotive Group's best used cars right now, starting under $15,000. Choose from hundreds of hand-selected quality used vehicles, all with a 133-point inspection, all with a 3-day exchange policy, all starting under $15,000. Forget the rest. Drive the best. Get Ewald's best used cars starting under $15,000.
Go to ewaldauto.com.
See dealer for complete details. Exclusions may apply.
It's party time at Cousins Subs. For a limited time only, Cousins is bringing back their famous 2-foot party subs. Whether it's for a big game, family gathering, or work celebration, Cousins 2-foot party sub is sure to be a crowd pleaser. Choose from the club, ham and provolone, Italian special, or turkey. Each party sub is just $39.99, feeds 5 to 8 people, and requires 24-hour notice to order. Order in store, online, or on their app for a limited time. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
The new year is here, and we all know it's the perfect time to hit the reset button. Let's be real, guys. Feeling confident in how you look and feel isn't just for women. That's where Quintessa Aesthetic Center comes in. From now through March 31st, Quintessa is offering exclusive packages to help you start 2025 as a more confident you. Whether it's weight loss plans or even IV therapy, Quintessa has personalized options backed by medical experts to help you look and feel your absolute best. Visit myquintessa.com to learn more. Make 2025 the year you feel confident inside and out.
Spending more time at home? Don't forget that 94.5 ESPN's on your smart speaker. Just ask Alexa to open 94.5 ESPN. 94.5 ESPN on Alexa is presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
All right, let's play trivia so we can get to Justin Garcia, our Bucks buddy, and we'll get to him late, and I apologize in advance. Let's welcome in caller number 8. It is Tim in West Bend who is a first-time contestant.
Timmer!
Hi, Tim.
Hi there.
And
Howdy, Tim.
at the other
How's
end of
Tim?
the spectrum...
Can we ask how Tim's
No.
doing before we get to...
Tim had the opportunity to offer how he was doing. He didn't. We're going to move forward because we're
I'm working on some electrical, so if I go blank, that means I shorted myself out.
Okay, don't do that. We can't have that happen. It's going to be an electrifying round of trivia on Wilde and Tausch. And then, so Tim's a first-time contestant. Meanwhile, Steve in the Shaw is playing for the third consecutive week. Steve, good morning. How are you?
Let's go, Steve. Let's go.
Good morning, guys. I'm not going to ask you how you are because I'm going to be like Homer. I don't really care.
Yeah, and we don't have
That's
time.
fair.
So, question number 1, Tim, is this. Featured in Travel Wisconsin's list of 5 only in Wisconsin ice cream stops, the Babcock Hall Dairy Store is located on the campus of which of these Wisconsin universities? Is it UW-Madison?
Wisconsin-Madison. Madison.
Bamski.
As much as I want to expedite the process, Jesse did have a good line about UW chocolate eclair. Which was okay, I thought.
Not bad. That's not bad.
See? All right.
Pretty good.
Steve, question 1 for you.
What would the nickname be then, Jesse? It could just be Blue Gold, or is it
If
got to
I
be
may.
something? Blue Bunny Ears? Like, what would we be?
Oh, that sounds... Never mind.
That's an ice cream.
It's true.
That's
yes.
exempt.
It is indeed. Steve, question number 1 for you. Featured in Travel Wisconsin's list of 5 only in Wisconsin ice cream stops, the Pearl, sharing the name with the main street it is located on, can be found in which of these Wisconsin cities? Is it La Crosse, Green Bay, or Winneconne? Also good.
I'm going to go with my alma mater, La Crosse.
Yeah. Indeed. All right, 1 for 1 for each of you. Question 2, Tim.
Once went to the Pearl twice in one day.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
Oh, no, it was amazing.
Tim, question 2. Latitudinally, which of these Wisconsin cities is located farthest south? Farthest south. Is it Delavan, Darien, or Dousman?
Delavan.
Oh, could you not after the electrocution line? Could you not take quite that long? You have me worried. Delavan, not the correct answer. Jesse, what's the correct answer?
Darien further south than Delavan.
Spelled correctly, though. All right. Steve, question 2 for you.
Outside of Cambria, Friesland, and what's the other great hyphenated school? Like, what are the great hyphenated cities in the
Adams
state
Friendship,
of Wisconsin? What are,
Pecatonica, Argyle, Osseo Fairchild.
Osseo Fairchild's a good one.
Osseo Fairchild, Pie Country. That's the Pie Corridor. Yep.
Are you doing this just to extend trivia? Is this what you're doing? Are you just filibustering?
No, I love you. Is there anything I love more than cities, Wisconsin City? Like, that's why we love the geography / travel trivia.
They did
Rice Lake.
Bucks game starts
Big time pie. That's part of the Pie Corridor.
Rice Lake's not a combo thing.
No, it's not, but it's part of the Pie Corridor.
Bucks game starts at 7. It was originally scheduled for 6:30, so Justin's got extra time. He's not going anywhere, so we're good.
All right. Question 2, Steve, is this. Longitudinally.
God, I hope this isn't about the Pie Corridor.
Which of these Wisconsin cities is located farthest west? Farthest west. Is it Delavan, Darien, or Dousman?
West. Delavan.
Oh, tricky. It's tricky. The correct answer, again, is Darien.
Really?
Clever boy.
Darien, southwest of Delavan.
There you have it.
Interesting. Yeah. Delavan, the what's Baraboo? The museum. What's the big museum? Carnival. They're known for that,
circus.
Right? Circus. There you go. Downtown, Thanks. Beautiful little downtown. Cobblestone streets down there in Delavan.
Baraboo or Delavan?
Yeah, what?
Or Darien?
Delavan. Delavan used to be the big circus capital of everything.
I will have to
and then I think
check
they
that.
moved it.
I feel
now
like,
they got that downtown, but they
like Baraboo's
still have a
always
great
had the
history.
circus.
I don't think that's
a great history of circuses.
Question 3, Tim.
Delavan Darien at Monona Grove, Friday night on Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania on ESPN Madison and the YouTube channel.
It's going just the way I expected it to. Question 3, Tim. Rev's Bowl is one of the 2 host sites of the 2025 Wisconsin High School Bowling Club State Championships the weekend of March 9th. It is also a place that both Jason and Sydney Wilde have bowled before. In which Wisconsin city
that's written down on there?
Is Rev's Bowl located? Is it located in Appleton, Oshkosh, or Fond du Lac?
Oshkosh.
Indeed, a fundraiser every year for UW Oshkosh women's basketball is held at Rev's Bowl, and that is the correct answer. Question 3 now for Steve. A Rolling Thunder Lanes is one of the 2 host sites for the 2025 Wisconsin. You totally took my thing from last week and did the same question 3 times.
I learned from the best.
Rolling Thunder Lanes, one of the 2 host sites for the 2025 Wisconsin High School Bowling Club State Championships the weekend of March 9th. In which Wisconsin city is Rolling Thunder Lanes located, where I have never bowled? Is it in Omro, West Bend, or Neenah?
Let's say the home of the Rockets, Neenah.
So, as it turns out, Delavan Darien, the spelling of which tripped up Jesse in the graphics department, also tripped up both of our contestants, but otherwise they got their other 2 questions right. So, Tim, thanks for staying safe during your electrical job. You got 3 entries into tomorrow's drawing. We appreciate you. Thanks.
All right, great.
And Steve, you got 2 of the 3 right. You got 3 of the possible 4 entries, and you probably won't be picked just like you weren't the last 2 weeks. Thanks for playing.
Jesse, you better pick my name out of the cheese hat.
Yeah.
Cheese helmet.
We do this. We do this fairly, Steve. You can check the official contest rules at ESPN Wisconsin Contests.
Yeah. Just because the contest rules say that doesn't mean you're doing it fairly. That doesn't guarantee anything.
Jason,
it's your.
If you were to,
oh, here we go.
If you were to mirror, and you wanted a job shadow, plumber, electrician, concrete worker, which one are you picking?
Radio host.
That wasn't a choice.
I made it a choice.
Which one would you pick?
Well, I think I would pick concrete. How much work do I have to do?
Right. That's the major thing here. Because, like, the plumber, I think, could be the most fun to watch. But I want to be
like the snake and pulling out sewage and stuff?
But like I want to be able to walk away.
What pants he's wearing?
Like I don't want to be the one necessarily doing it. I just want to be shadowing for the day, taking notes, and be able to walk away and go talk to the homeowners if I need to.
Sure. Wouldn't it be fun to learn and understand electricity better?
So I can speak to this since we're just going to keep delaying our Bucks buddy joining us.
Nobody's delaying. We just had an electrician on. I'm not making this stuff up. There he is. There's Jay. You don't think JG? I think he'd love to go and study electrical work. I do.
Gabe Neitzel's dad, who I wrote a check for his services in August, and then I discovered it in late December, and I still haven't sent it to him, so I'm a scofflaw, and I owe him money.
Just wait a second. You wrote a check, but you didn't send it to him?
I forgot to mail it, yeah. I had there was a lot going on. It's my fault. 100% my fault.
Okay.
But he did some work here, and I got to tell you, it is fascinating.
Yes.
But electricity scares me. Like, I don't want to do the thing like Scooby-Doo.
You're scared of your own shadow. In fairness, you're scared of your own shadow.
All right, we'll get to Justin Garcia, who we love. He'll join us next to talk Bucks and get Tausch hyped for Bucks Nuggies. It's Wilde and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcasts for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
As clutch of a player to ever play basketball.
It's game time on Season 4 of Behind the Bucks on Bucks Plus.
This year, I was like, I need to impose myself more on this team.
Explore Damian Lillard's journey to becoming a top 75 player in NBA history.
That's what really had me feeling like this is going to be great.
Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker, and H&R Benefits Consultant. Find Bucks Plus on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
The second half of the basketball season is here, and the race to the playoffs is heating up on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on your favorite sports. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. The app is really simple to use. Pick 2 or more players across any sport, pick more or less on their projection, and you can win up to 1,000 times your money. Don't miss your chance to cash in as the league's best fight for playoff positioning. Join Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app, available to play in more than 40-plus states, including California and Texas. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code WI. Get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code WI on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 for just playing. Guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Seriously injured? Make one call. That's all.
She's different and special and loaded with personality.
And there's one more thing, but you can't explain it in words.
She's the one.
She's the one.
The one.
You know it.
Your friends know it.
The whole world knows it.
We curated a special selection of engagement rings for her.
Can you guess what we call it?
We call it the One Collection by Kessler's.
Because these engagement rings are different.
And special.
And loaded with personality.
And one more thing. But you can't explain it in words.
Engagement rings in the One Collection start at just $725.
But some of them are more.
A lot more.
But we've got you covered.
First, we have 12 months financing at 0%. Or
second, we have 36 months financing at 9.99%, both with approved credit.
Third, we have second chance financing if you need someone to give you a second chance.
And don't forget the Kessler's warranty.
The strongest warranty of any jewelry store in the world.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Wisconsin is still cattle country. And that's why Bunzel's chose to stay close to home to hand select the finest beef. Quality goes into everything they do, from Bunzel's expansive array of meats, homemade specialty sausages, and their award-winning beef jerky. It just isn't a proper holiday meal without Bunzel's top quality cuts on the dinner table. Tasting is believing. Visit Bunzel's at 90th and Burleigh or bunzels.com.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Two things. One, that I'm going to start dancing right here in the Wilde Family Basement Studios. You just can't help it. And
Great
two,
song.
It means our Bucks buddy. You hear him on the Bucks broadcasts on both the flagship 620 WTMJ and 100.5 ESPN Madison. I like it because the SiriusXM app in my car allows me to listen to the local broadcast with him and Dave Kane. So I got to hear him the other night. He was better than the Bucks finished in the fourth quarter. He is Justin Garcia, our Bucks buddy. Justin, proud to say I was one of the first 4 people to tune in on X/Twitter to watch the pregame programming that you were delivering. It's great, the shoot around, and then by the time you got done, we were up to like 100 people watching. It was a very good program. I hope I'm as insightful about the Packers as you are about the Bucks. How you doing today?
Good. I have several devices, so that's what brought the 100 views into play. That you just log in and try to
more shoes or devices.
That's pretty close. I think device is a close second. As you know, I'm a loyal listener, and I was listening during the past few segments. Tausch is right on a couple of fronts. Delavan did used to be the former circus capital of the U.S. I also agree. I would look into electrician work. I mean, it terrifies me as a non-handy person, but I think it's the most beneficial.
Yeah.
In that things you could do to up the value of your own dwelling space. I think that's the one that makes the most sense. And also shout out to the Pearl, which I frequented many times when I was a lacrosse resident.
If only you played sports for a dual school co-op like Osseo Fairchild or Pecatonica Argyle, you would have had like a 4-bagger of Tausch topics.
Burnham Wood was another big one.
Wittenberg,
Burnham Wood.
Yep. Cambria Friesland, I think, is one that gets underlooked a lot, too.
I have the winner of that, by the way.
Iola Scandinavia is right there.
I was one. That was the next one I was going to bring up, but I have one that even trumps all of. This is the best one because it's the only, I think, triple.
Triple-O.
From Eric in Madison. Gail Ettrick Trempolo.
Yes. Love Gail Electric Trempolo.
So kudos to Eric.
Electric
for
Boogaloo. An electric Boogaloo. Yep.
It's been a while since we've had you on the program. Since then, I barely recognize the roster.
Anything else change?
What do you think of where this team is at? They had won 4 straight before they lost to Houston the other night. Obviously, Tausch will be in attendance, so I assume Nikola Jokic is not playing tonight. Where do you view this team as being
Might break me if that happens tonight.
I saw somebody, I think it was on the Bucks subreddit, posted a picture of Kyle Kuzma, Kevin Porter Jr., and Jericho Sims on the floor together, and just had the caption of, what if I told you in October this was a regular season Bucks game to see that trio out there? And yet here we are. A lot has changed, and I think we had a chance to see Chris Middleton play for the Wizards in his first game, ironically enough, with his new team against the Bucks. And I think he's played in just 2 games since that trade. I've seen 2 games with Chris Middleton. I think the sad reality is the Bucks probably made this trade a year too late. And we can debate how much of a boost Kyle Kuzma is individually over Chris Middleton. I don't think it's up for debate on the defensive end of the floor. The big issue that the Bucks are going to have to solve is an area where, in theory, Chris Middleton could and had helped you immensely in the past, and that is their half-court offense. I mean, that's the reason why they lost to the Rockets in a game where both teams combined to score 27 points in the fourth quarter. So you know what Chris Middleton is capable of doing, and you go no further back than the playoffs last year to see, look, this guy still had it in the tank then. But as he acknowledged in the interviews that he gave since the deal, I needed more time. And I recognize that the organization was at a place where they can't wait any longer. So I think their approach was, we still have Giannis, we still have Damian Lillard. That's unchanged. In any series we play in the Eastern Conference, we're going to have the best player on the floor. In some, we're going to have the second best player on the floor. But we just needed to get younger and more athletic. And I was talking about this with somebody else the other day. You know, sometimes you don't really recognize the scale of things until you're removed from it. And we had all heard the Bucks are an older team and a slower team. And I think we all kind of shoulder shrugged and rolled our eyes of like, yeah, I get they're not the Oklahoma City Thunder, but I don't think it's to the levels that we've heard. And then you see this injection of youth, and you see how they are able to get out and run a little bit more and play differently. And you realize, oh yeah, this is a lot different now. So I still think, even if it's slight, they're in a better spot than they were before the trade, but they are in a massively better spot as you get into the summer and beyond by getting out of the second apron. They shaved off a lot of tax money as well, which I know doesn't benefit the fans. It does the owners, and it does open up things for them to potentially spend more money on. And they did things like unfreezing a draft pick where 2032 pick is on the table now. 2031, you can trade this summer. You might have the full mid-level exception available to use. So there's a chance, depending on what happens with guys opting out of the final year of their contract and Brook Lopez's free agency, the Bucks could even be a team with cap space this summer, which was not anything we were discussing before the trade.
Justin, I teased Tausch, and he freely admits he is a Goody stan. You would say that you are Chris Middleton stan, right? I mean, you always have believed that he is criminally underrated. We agree with you on the panel. But for you to acknowledge that the trade probably happened a year too late, I think is significant, because you're not someone who would say that just because you were down on him. That said, how do you see this team as it is now constructed moving forward? All that stuff you just said about cap space and everything, that's great. But
doesn't help them now.
Yeah, and you still have Giannis, and I know that there are people, we're back into the worry about Giannis's future mode, even when he says that he would never leave and all the other stuff. So what is realistic? As I listened to you in the postgame after the Houston game, I just don't know what I'm supposed to expect from this team, which went into that game leading by the tiebreaker, I believe. The Pacers, they had the 4th seed going into the game and then came out as the 5th seed. What should I expect for these last 20-plus games and heading into the postseason?
I don't know. I'm with you there. It's a very difficult schedule. They have the hardest remaining schedule in the Eastern Conference. The reality is they're probably going to finish 5th. That's what the numbers would dictate, but 6th isn't even off the table. The Detroit Pistons are apparently never going to lose again, and they're just a game back of the Bucks. You still got 2 games left with the Pistons. It's the final week of the season. It's your third to last and last game of the season against Detroit. That may determine who's the 5 seed. We don't know, but I think the important part for the Bucks is, you know, if we're going to say that you're not going to finish any higher than 4th, everything else is walled off because you're 5 games back of the Knicks, and the tiebreaker's a part of that too. I agree, but everybody that's worrying over the play-in tournament, I mean, doesn't the same apply there? The Bucks are 5 games up with the tiebreaker on all of those teams that are in the 7 through 10 range. So I think the expectation is it's somewhere 4 through 6. I don't know that it really matters where that is. I mean, in theory, it would be great if you're 4 and you have home court advantage. I think a lot of people are diminishing the Cleveland Cavaliers as a cute regular season story just because They've never broken through before. You could say the same thing about the Bucks going into 2021. They're a really good team, and you're going to have to beat good teams to advance to where you need to be. I don't think 6 would even be a disaster, and you get the New York Knicks in the first round. I know the first 2 regular season matchups, certainly less than ideal for the Bucks, but it's a different Bucks team, and I think we've seen teams kind of show more of a blueprint of, hey, here's the way you defend the Knicks, and the Bucks suddenly have the personnel to do that. So it's always going to come down to health being the most important thing for this team. They have not had it the past few playoffs. The important part, though, is you absolutely have to fix your offense, in that if any of us would have been told before the season, this team is going to consistently be in the top 10 defensively and have stretches where they're one of the 2 or 3 best defenses in the league for weeks on end, but the offense is going to be middle of the pack, I think we all would have thought you were crazy. But that's been the story so far. And it's not just the overall fourth quarter and in the clutch time. The Bucks have the worst fourth quarter offense in the league and the second worst in clutch. I mean, the good and bad is their clutch defense has been terrific so far this season, but the offense has been worse than that you have an offensive or a defensive rating in the clutch of 100, which is incredible. And yet you have a negative net rating in those moments. So that's the biggest thing that absolutely has to change, of how can a team with Giannis and Damian Lillard, especially in those moments down the stretch, be struggling that much offensively? Because if that doesn't change, even if you're healthy, I mean, I think it's the same thing we experienced leading up to the title run too. The Bucks got just enough offense, and it was their defense that fueled them. They're not even at that level of where they were offensively during that championship run. So that's the biggest thing that really has to start to tick upward for this team.
Well, how's that going to change?
Guys start hitting shots. No, I mean, it just seems to bog down quite a bit in the fourth quarter. I was looking it up the other day, and Giannis is your leading scorer in the clutch. He's played an equal amount of games, and I think equal amount of minutes as Damian Lillard in those spots. But I think we all would have assumed, well, that's Damian Lillard's time. Brook Lopez is your third leading scorer, and that may be the issue with this trade too.
Yep.
Yeah, that may be the issue with this trade is who's the third guy? Because before you knew it was Chris Middleton. I'm not saying you need a third superstar, but you need third guy consistently. I don't know that that's Kyle Kuzma. That's the other thing to keep an eye on is, you know, at the time of the trade, we saw in Kuz's first games with the Bucks, he brought a lot that, I don't want to say reminded you of Giannis, but that play style was similar, where he was an up and down the floor transition player, a lot of unorthodox shots, but he got him to fall. And I think in the back of your mind, you question, well, is he going to be able to do this with Giannis on the floor? Like, don't you kind of need him to be a shooter? And since he's returned, that's what we've seen, that it's been more catch and shoot variation, which is not his strength. So you got to optimize your lineups. I think is we've seen Doc Rivers already tinker with the starting lineup. Andre Jackson Jr. is not only out of the starting lineup, he's basically out of the rotation because of the additional defensive pieces that you've added. So is it being more cognizant of, look, we really, in the clutch, we got to lean into Giannis at the 5 and Kyle Kuzma at the 4 and Damian Lillard and 2 shooters around them? Is it more lineups like that? But that offense, it has to be much better than the second to worst in the league in those moments.
So I believe the last really 3 or 4 years, and I know the Bucks have had some disappointments with the first-round exits. Giannis has been hurt. If this team, as we're sitting here, and they're going to change, stays healthy, can this team win a world championship? As we sit here today.
I think the next 25 games.
Jason?
Better.
Yes. You just did what Evan Cohen did to you. And I was expecting Justin to go, Jason! Jason!
I mean, look, the big thing that stands out, so if you ask me at this moment right now, it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a really tough challenge. Yep. No, I would not put them at the level of the Cavs or the Celtics because of the numbers that we just walked through and because the Bucks' record in those games and their net rating against those types of teams has not been very good. But these 25 games with your new reconfigured lineups and team, you got a lot of matchups against those types of teams. So I think we are going to learn in these 25 games.
What do we expect? Because I've come to I'm a big Nuggets fan. My game was modeled, or I think Jokic's game kind of modeled after my high school career back at Auburndale High School. I love the way he plays. How do you think we defend him tonight? I'm not asking you to give me some prize picks tips because Lord knows I need them, but how do we defend Denver tonight when we tip off at 7:00?
There's this guy, I can't remember who it was that invented it, but there's this. It's called the prayer and hope strategy. No, it's. Oh. I think if we go back to what the Lakers
Ken
did,
Rovac, I believe, our old general manager, had that strategy.
That's the Lakers. I don't know if it's the blueprint per se, but the Lakers, when they played over the weekend, really geared up for Nikola Jokic. And I think J.J. Redick talked about this a little bit after the game, too, more so than you see traditionally in a regular season game where they had, obviously, no Anthony Davis anymore, but a big they could put on him and then front him as well and say, if Michael Porter Jr. is hitting shots, if Jamal Murray's hitting shots, they've been streaky this year. They've both been playing really well of late. We'll take it. We'll live with it. If that's who beats us, fine, but it's not going to be Nikola Jokic. We want the ball out of his hands immediately. The longer he keeps the ball, the more he finds a mismatch either for himself or one of his teammates on the floor. So you just got to prevent those moments, either fronting him or immediate swarm and pressure, and just live with the consequences. It's a much more athletic team that the Bucks have put together now. Brook Lopez, in theory, can size up with him. Nobody's going to stop Nikola Jokic. But I do wonder if we see somebody like a Kyle Kuzma start to front him a little bit and just make sure the touches that Nikola Jokic gets are limited in this game. But I mean, that's the challenge because Denver has been the best team in the league since January 1st. And Jamal Murray's a big piece of that. He's shooting near 50% on threes going back that stretch. That wasn't the case earlier in the season. I mean, you go back to December, the Bucks and Nuggets looked like they were kind of in the same spot, both around 500. Mm-hmm. You wondered about the core around Nikola Jokic. Jamal Murray did not look like the guy he was in the finals. They had injuries to Aaron Gordon. And all of a sudden, they've gotten healthy, and they've started to piece it together. And again, that's what you hope to see with the Bucks is Giannis starts to get out of this low 30s minutes total. You feel good about his health, and now these new pieces get much more runway to work around Giannis because that's the other challenging part for this Bucks team. And I guess I respect what they're doing here to say, look, we might drop games, but we're not going against the plan here for Giannis's health because everybody had issues with the way that fourth quarter went against the Rockets. You scored 12 points. It's not good. You went 6 minutes without scoring.
Right.
But you had these stretches of no Giannis or Dame on the floor, and I get it's a pain point, but that's not going to be the case in the playoffs. And this game is not as important as a playoff game. When you're managing Giannis's minutes, you have to recognize, look, there's going to be stretches where we need to rest Dame too, and we're just not going to have one of these guys on the floor. That's not going to be the case in the playoffs.
Nuggets have won.
Russell Westbrook, and again, how much has he been playing? I have not. I'm a Jokic guy. Has Russell been an impactful guy? Because I see 4 rebounds in a very, very triple-double machine in the old days.
Wait a minute. Are you asking for NBA insight for the game or help with your prize picks selection?
Well, and I'm also interested, has Gary Trent's rebounding been up to par lately? Those are my last 2 questions for you. I'm just curious. I can't ask pointed questions to our Bucks expert. These are pointed questions.
Just an observation.
Oh. I mean, number one, I suppose I should say, have fun with prize picks as somebody employed by a team in the league. I cannot participate. And
absolutely.
Don't know what you're referring to
you know what?
Any of these,
hey, you know what,
actions.
JG? My bad. I don't even want to know if Gary Trent is going to have 1.5 tonight. I don't want to know that answer, or I don't even want to ask that question.
What I would say, which the last thing I'll point out, because you mentioned me being a Chris Middleton stan, I'm also a Brook Lopez stan, and that's been the other troubling part of seeing some of the discourse around him these past few games. It's tough to look at the counting stats. Like, we have to take team numbers into account. And with Russ, I don't know how much it
doesn't
changes.
care
I know
about
he's
those.
been impactful, but
you got to go to Illinois to ask about those numbers.
Yeah, those aren't part of my plan, JG.
You see it time and again. How can a 7-footer get 3 rebounds? And I mean, look, what I would implore you is you guys deal with it too when you hear from Packers fans saying, how was this guy wide open? Why didn't this guy pick him up? Were they in zone? Were they in man-to-man? That's not his responsibility. It's not Brook Lopez's responsibility to grab rebounds. It's his responsibility to create rebounding opportunities for his team. And you can say he's 7 feet. Why does he only average 5 or whatever it is, frankly? But the numbers dictate the Bucks are a much better team with Brook Lopez on the floor than off. They're in the, I think, 77th percentile on the defensive glass when he's out there, 24th when he's off the floor. So he does make an impact. And quite frankly, there's no plan B. So that's the other big thing to keep an eye on this summer. What does life after Brook Lopez look like?
All right, last thing, JG. I'm not playing Prize Picks. I don't need your insights on this. But you just admitted you're a stand for two different guys. I really want Dame time to arrive. And I listened to Dave on the call, then I listened to you two have your talk back, then I listened to you do the post game. And he obviously had some opportunities to win or tie that game the other night in Houston. Where do you think he is now? Because we, and I was part of this, made plenty of excuses for he didn't get to work out the way he wanted to during the offseason last year, the trade timing, all that kind of stuff. Could it be that he really hits his stride as the playoffs arrive, and maybe that is the jet fuel for them to do some things in the postseason that you're hoping they do?
Yeah, and I mean, I guess I would say overall he's been better too. Like,
I agree.
It's kind of the fine line of is it an excuse or is it the actual reason why? But in terms of his efficiencies, he's been a better player so far this season, and it was a tough close against the Houston Rockets in that game. He hasn't had all that many. I mean, you think about games where you think, man, Dame's really in a shooting funk, and it feels like it's been this way for a couple of games now. And then you go back and look through and like, no, he was actually pretty good and pretty efficient for a stretch of 7 or 8 games. That's kind of what it's been like. Rockets are a tough matchup for him and most anybody with the athleticism they have on the perimeter, with multiple guys that can switch and go out there defensively on him. Amen Thompson, a big piece of that. But look, you're going to have those matchups in the playoffs too. I get that point. I'm just not to the level where I am concerned about Damian Lillard. I think there was a lot of that last year, and I think the numbers backed it up last year. But again, as we went through the well-documented reasons of maybe why those numbers were down, I'm not there this year, but I mean, I think it is fair to say for a player that's approaching his mid-30s, he's moved into a different phase of his career. And if that means Damian Lillard is the number 2 guy clearly on this team, fine. I mean, there's still very, very few other players I would rather have in that role than Damian Lillard.
All right, JG, enjoy the game tonight. Make sure Tausch comes by. Is there a giveaway of some sort that you need to deliver to him?
Any watches
like past games?
I'll see if I can get a media meal voucher for him and deliver that directly. That's about it.
Ooh. Presented by Coors Light and apparently Prize Picks. JG, we appreciate your insights. You're the best, buddy. Thanks.
See you guys.
That is Justin Garcia. You can hear him before, during, at halftime, and after the game on the Bucks Radio Network. Tausch, since you brought it up, how you feeling about your Prize Picks tonight, and will you be playing from your seat as it goes?
I will. I'm going to go more with Joker because he's my guy.
So it's
Giannis,
Jokic,
I'm gonna go more.
Jokic for basketball, Djokovic for tennis, because I always call him Joker.
Any Vitches. Any Vitches. Just give me
son of a
Jokovic, whatever it might be. Prize Picks. Jesse's putting his out. He's already trying to share his winning strategy, and that's the beautiful part about Prize Picks. It's you versus the projections. You pick more. It's simple to play. More or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. You can run your game all season long on Prize Picks, the best play to get action on sports in more than 30 states. This app is simple to use. Again, more or less on the projections. 27.5 tonight. 21.5 for Murray. I think we're going to see some doublage on Joker. I think Murray has a night, but I think it's going to be Dame time. And I'm going to have to look at what his projection is. I have not seen that yet, but the second half of basketball is here, and I am excited to be playing Prize Picks. Don't miss out on your chance to cash in as the league's best. Fight for that playoff positioning. Download the app today and use code WI. You get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks.
Run your game. We still have one more segment left in the 10 o'clock hour.
What? No.
Yeah.
No.
But Tausch got his
Come on, Jesse.
questionable insights into his Prize Pick selections. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
On the air. Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio. Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some. Why are you throwing? I don't want.
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
By me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman.
If you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, you're supposed to make both the Rams and Matt Stafford an offer that they can't refuse. And if you don't, knowing how it's been a carousel of quarterbacks post Ben Roethlisberger, you're telling me in the rest of the football world that you're not serious about doing whatever it takes to try to win a championship. You're just not. Championship winning quarterbacks don't grow on trees. There are only a handful of quarterbacks that were starters last year that actually have won titles. So I don't understand why you would be willing to forego Matt Stafford when he's shown us on the field that he's still at the height of his powers. It just doesn't make any sense. It's not as if he's washed up. It's not as if he's past it like Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers. It just makes no sense given where this Rams team is to punt on Matt Stafford because Matt Stafford is still a very productive player, a very impactful player in this league.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
When you don't compromise on the court, you shouldn't compromise off of it either. Lose the calories, not the taste. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Copyright 2024.
Hey, Bucks fans, enjoy Michelob Ultra at Bucket's Pub Second Round Racine, Bullwinkle's in Brookfield, Stenny's Lake Country in Pewaukee, Thirsty Duck Sussex, Brewski's Sports Pub and Barbecue Milwaukee, and Morton's Pub South Milwaukee. Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this winter? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today day.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Badgers safety Hunter Wohler is at the podium at the NFL Scouting Combine right now, according to Lauren Helmbrecht of the CBS affiliate here in Green Bay.
Muskoge's best.
Second to you, of course. Tausch, I was just curious, since you are going to the Bucks game to see Jokic, who are you going with? Is that top secret? Is there a crew going? Who's all going to the ball game tonight?
Yeah, Sarah's going, Max is going, Eleanor's going. We got no school tomorrow, so this actually fit. I was, as I had said, I was frustrated, obviously, with the lack of Jokic the last 2 times I think we've went. This time, fingers crossed, I usually look at Prize Picks to see if guys are playing, and I'm going to knock on wood. Looks like it's going to be a go. I'm very, very excited about it.
All right. Well, we look forward to your reports from there. We also look forward to the 11 o'clock hour, which will start. Was Brian Bulaga on the show today? It'll start in 2 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for Kohler Services. Well, if you've been putting off your bath or shower remodel, now is the time to turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get 0 interest financing for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
You can accomplish quite a lot in 6 years. You go from changing diapers to dropping your child off at school. You can get a bachelor's and a master's degree. And you can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella Windows and Doors at 0% interest. You get so much more than stunning windows and doors. It's the Pella experience. Talk about quality control. Pella manufactures, sells, installs, and services every product. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 3/8/25.
Transform the way you do business with Fifth Third Bank's Commercial Payments Solutions. Our market expertise and managed services streamline your entire payment process, seamlessly integrating with your existing systems to give you unparalleled control. Discover new revenue sources, save time, reduce operating costs, and boost your bottom line with our customized payment solutions. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Hey, this is Jen Latta. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. Very late. So I've been surveying the YouTube conversations, Twitter replies to Clayton, who took the information from the Channel 3000 story and distilled it down to the 3 GM's opinions. I hope people still read the story. And there's a lot of variance not only in what those three anonymous, unnamed, off-the-record GMs said, but also variance in how people seem to feel about Jaire. I'm confused because I feel like I heard a lot of negativity toward him, and I'm not saying that it's wrong if you are still positive or hopeful about him. I just thought you were in a distinct minority, and it's a little more split than that. I'm curious. Does that surprise you that there's more people that are saying, hey, keep him, he can still play? Or if you're not going to get premium return on this, just keep him and restructure his contract? I thought most people were kind of donezo with him, but a fair number of Packers fans voicing their opinions in the YouTube comments and on social media apparently aren't done with him yet.
What's a fair number?
I don't know what percentage it is. 25%, 30%.
So
maybe
here's
even
what I
higher.
would say. I think we all look at this and we see and remember Jaire as a really good player when he's been healthy.
Depoy.
And a lot of it is that he hasn't been healthy. Yes and no. There's obviously a lot of consternation, especially this last season, about whether he could play. And that whole tipping point of suiting up and only taking 10 snaps, I think in that Bear game, that seemed to kind of be the end. And you heard the frustration. And I think from a coaching staff standpoint, medical and all of that, it's not that you're mad or disappointed. You want the communication. You want him to be healthy so that he can go play at the level you hope. And Jaire felt like he could not, and that's where that consternation came from. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, communication and trust is critical with player, coach, medical. And when and if that is not all lined up, it can get a little contentious, and it can get where there's, even if it's not said, it's felt that we feel like maybe you could play. The player feels that. And that can make for really tough circumstances. And once that trust and that communication is broken down, it is really hard to recapture it.
Yeah.
Not to say that is exactly what happened, but I would bet there's a lot of that within this circumstance. So we as fans are, well, if you don't get value, don't get rid of them. Well, we're not robots yet. I mean, there probably will be a time where this is a robotic league. I don't know when. I know these AI data centers are going up everywhere, and I know the Enemy of the State movie is much more real than it ever was. All of the stuff, but we're still human beings, and human beings are still playing. And when human beings are involved, emotions and feelings, they do still matter. And if someone is, the old Mike Tomlin saying, you don't want hostages, you want volunteers.
Yeah.
I don't sense that this is going to be a relationship that can tread moving forward. Now, Jaire does not have a ton of leverage here. He doesn't.
Nope.
And I'm not getting into the leverage game and Joe Douglas and bludgeoning. That was 2 off seasons ago, not this one. We all want Jaire to come back and be a pivotal player for this team. Mm-hmm. The fact that that is one of the positions you need a guy like Jaire. Well, he's not there. It's not the guy that we wanted because he hasn't been able to do it. So I understand Packer fans wanting always the best just for the team. Best for the team would be Jaire comes back, he's got no guaranteed money, and he plays like a first-team All-Pro and is dominant. That's not a realistic scenario as we sit here right now. And that's why you either work something out, try to do the best you can, and then look to the future about how you're going to improve that part of your team.
Well, when trust is violated or it's not there anymore, that's a problem. That's why it's a good thing if you've made the switch to Associated Bank that you know you can trust them with your money. You can trust that they are going to do a great job of customer service. They've got the awards to prove it. So go to AssociatedBank.com. Find out about all the great things that come with being an Associated Bank customer, including overdraft protections, including early pay where you get access to your money up to 2 days early, and, of course, over 30,000 ATMs where you don't pay surcharges. Check out AssociatedBank.com to find out more. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcast for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you. The Green and Gold Championship window is on the clock.
To me, their window is now wide open. From here on out, they have the opportunity to get to the Super Bowl.
The countdown to the NFL draft in Green Bay is on.
Goody has to start figuring out his first-round draft picks. Goody's inability to nail the first-round draft pick is what is keeping this team from being a true Super Bowl contender.
Green and Gold off-season talk right here. 94.5 ESPN and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Want to know where the snow is? Snow River Mountain Resort in Michigan's UP is buried in it. Over 125 inches of pure natural powder this season alone. Skip the airport hassle and head to the UP's only resort with high-speed lifts. We're talking deep snow, zero crowds, and a season that stretches well into April. Why fly south when winter's best-kept secret is right here in your backyard? Make this spring break legendary at Snow River Mountain Resort. Snow River Mountain Resort, where the snow stays longer and the lines move faster. Visit snowriver.com to book now.
Are you dreaming about summer in your backyard yet? Picture it. Beautiful plants, freshly mowed lawn, crisply edged flower beds, and your grilling dinner out on an incredible back patio. Landworks Wisconsin is ready to plan your green space. Locally owned and operated, Landworks prides themselves on exceptional customer service and a personal approach to all your landscaping needs. Their team of experts will work closely with you, making your property shine all year. Experience the Landworks difference. Visit landworkswisconsin.com. That's landworkswisconsin.com.
Hey Bucks fans, it's Alex Stroh. Enjoy Michelob Ultra with me this Saturday night at Coach's Pub and Grill on South 13th Street in Milwaukee. I'll be at Coach's watching the Bucks take on the Dallas Mavericks starting at 7:30. Stop by for a chance to win Michelob Ultra prizes. Also enjoy Michelob Ultra at Papa Stash Big Bend, Maxwell's in Cedarburg, and State Street Pizza. We'll see you this Saturday night at Coach's Pub and Grill on South 13th for the Bucks game. Brought to you by Michelob Ultra, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Bucks. Enjoy responsibly.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hungry? Quick Trip's got you. No dinner plans? Food's here, and it's a pizza party. Dom's pizzas are 4 for just $10. Choose from a variety of toppings. So easy and delicious. Get plenty to eat and keep your wallet happy too.
Food's here, and it's ready when you are. Quick Trip isn't just convenient, it's here to make your life easier and better.
Fuel up at your ultimate destination for snacks and meals that hit the spot. Only at Quick Trip.
Guys, let's talk about something important. That's you. Hey, it's Brad Nortman. Taking care of your health and appearance isn't just about looking good. It's about feeling strong, confident, and ready to take on the world. At Quintessa Aesthetic Center, they make it easy. With experts in advanced skincare, body contouring, and anti-aging treatments, Quintessa's here to help you stay sharp and at your best. Trust me, when you look good, you feel even better. So why wait? Visit myquintessa.com and take the first step toward a more confident you.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
So obviously this program is Packers-centric. Both at the expense of other Wisconsin teams, which I know sometimes frustrates some of you, but great conversation with Justin Garcia. And if you want to talk Bucks, he does a bunch of shows that you can be part of. We like to have him on because he knows a hell of a lot more than we do, even though Tausch is an NBA aficionado.
He knows more than I do.
Yeah,
he knows more than I do.
I was not going to dispute that. But we also don't spend an inordinate amount of time looking at the other teams in the NFC North. We talk about them, certainly, and we certainly know those teams, and they are important because how they relate to the Packers. But I thought it was interesting that Goody was asked in Indianapolis how much attention he pays to those other teams. Here's what he said.
No, again, we've talked about this before. Last year I was here and you guys were talking how we're going to catch the San Francisco 49ers. This year I'm sure it'll be the Eagles. It changes, right? And we got to concentrate on us and be the best we can be. And I know that if with the group that we have now, we'll add to it. If we do that and we hold our standards high, then I think all those things, will be attainable for us. All the goals we have.
So, yeah, right? You control what you can control. You said it thousands of times during your career. Everybody talks about that. That said, I know that there are times when teams do things that are spurred on by the teams that they've faced or the teams that have their number. Randy Moss goes to the Minnesota Vikings in the 1998 NFL Draft, and even though you and I both love our Vonnie Holliday, Vonnie Holliday did not cause the Minnesota Vikings to do something different from a player acquisition standpoint, whereas Randy Moss led Ron Wolf to take not one, not two, but 3 corners to start the 1999 draft. Antoine Edwards moved to safety. Fred Vinson was traded to the Seahawks for Amon Green, who became the team's all-time leading rusher in franchise history. And Mike McKenzie, until he became unhappy with 3 years left on his contract, was a Pro Bowl caliber corner. But they did that because of the Vikings. I'm not sure, Tausch, that there is anything that the Eagles, the Lions, or the Vikings have done that I would say, okay, the Packers now have to do this from an acquisition standpoint to deal with it. But they still do matter. You just have to focus on your own team. Isn't that what he's saying there?
Yeah, that's exactly what he's saying. And it's not as if you mentioned Randy Moss, and that always was overboard. And by the way, I don't think Ron, if he had to look back at it, you could look at some of the other players instead of going 3, DB. He could have went DB something else, and they all work in unison. So Detroit's a really good team, right? They have a really good O-line, a good running game, quarterback that is very good when he is comfortable, receiving core that's good, and it's not as if Goody is sitting there saying, boy, we need some lion killers. Well, you know what a lion killer is? Somebody that can beat and win one-on-one pass rushes. Or somebody that can lock down Amon St. Brown and take away your first read, get Goff off his spot, and that's getting your team better will do that. It's not if you have Myles Garrett, you know what? You better go get a stud. You better go get a Joe Thomas, a stud left tackle in his heyday to be able to block that guy. That is definitely something you think long and hard about, too. But your overarching theme on how you build your team is just get us a ton of great players. Get us a bunch of really good players, and then it's up to our coaches to figure out how to adjust and make those things because other teams have really good players. If you have a great quarterback in your division, the best way to stop a great quarterback, we've seen this time and time again, is the same thing the Green Bay Packers are going to look at, whether it was Detroit, Chicago, or whatnot. Get us some guys that can win one-on-one and get in the face of the quarterback because that makes everything else easier. And as far as everything else goes on offense, it doesn't matter what defense is playing. You got to have guys that can block, and you got to have guys that can make plays. So there are – to say that you don't think at all about what opposing teams have, if Lawrence Taylor's lined up over there, you're probably thinking – and I have a left tackle and I don't feel great about it, or a right tackle, probably say, Yeah, we have to make sure we can account for and
Right.
not let him wreck games.
Yep.
And that's, I think, what Goody's saying.
We need to get to Wonelli. We've reclaimed the clock to some degree. Want to remind you that, hey, you don't have to worry about the other teams, but make sure that you're using the best team, especially if you've been injured in an accident. And that team, of course, is Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666. Go to the website, gruber-law.com. Find out more about the firm and its history, all the great lawyers that are there, and all the great things that the Gruber family does in our community. Gruber Law Offices, one call, that's all. Wonelli is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you bought that TV in the parking lot. It just happened to not come in a box or include a remote. And when you finally managed to turn it on, all it displayed was the menu of Grumpy's Tacos. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. But not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Your taste buds are in luck. The Reuben is back at Cousin Subs. Try this classic sub grilled to order just for you. Stacked with corned beef, Wisconsin Swiss cheese, and sauerkraut topped with Thousand Island dressing and served on rye bread. And our delicious mint shake is back. Both the Reuben and mint shake can be ordered via the Cousins app or online for a limited time only. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
It's time for the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Wintrust. Get your Golden Eagles essentials by opening Marquette checking from Wintrust today.
Number 21 Marquette hit a season-high 17 three-pointers as they pounded Providence 82-52 at Fiserv Forum. On his 23rd birthday, senior guard Cam Jones finished with 17 points, 7 assists, and hit 4 three-pointers for his 44th straight game, scoring in double figures, the longest active streak in the nation.
Chase Ross to Cam Jones. Quick three. Good. Oh, he's feeling it. He's feeling it.
Junior big man Ben Gold chipped in a career-high 17 points on 8 of 10 shooting, including 3 of 5 from beyond the arc. Marquette improved to 21-7 overall and 12-5 in Big East play, just a half game behind second-place Creighton. MU's back in action Saturday night when they visit Georgetown.
This has been the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Wintrust, Wisconsin's bank, and the official bank of Marquette University.
Wisconsin is still cattle country, and that's why Bunzel's chose to stay close to home to hand select the finest beef. Quality goes into everything they do, from Bunzel's expansive array of meats, homemade specialty sausages, and their award-winning beef jerky. It just isn't a proper holiday meal without Bunzel's top quality cuts on the dinner table. Tasting is believing. Visit Bunzel's at 90th and Burleigh or bunzels.com.
Are you ready to shake things up at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee? All you gotta do is toss your rewards card into your favorite slots for drawing entries and a chance to be in the Roll for Riches game show. What's on the table? Oh, just $300K in cash and prizes. Play this March, and Thursday nights, you could get on a winning streak that, frankly, you deserve. Let it ride and roll for riches. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
So many of our youth carry unimaginable burdens. Anger, depression, even thoughts of suicide. At Rawhide Youth Services, we recognize their pain. We help them find hope and healing. For those that need a second chance at life, we refuse to give up on them. Please be a part of our life-saving work. When you donate your used vehicle to Rawhide, you're helping change the lives of countless youth in our communities. Go to rawhide.org/donate and help them realize a brighter future today.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Time now for Whoa Nelly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa Nelly
on Wilde and Tausch.
Jason, you mentioned it earlier. I watched Good Morning America also. Gene Hackman has passed away at age 95. He did play Coach Norman Dale, of course, in Hoosiers, among other roles. I thought of a great question, and then as I was thinking it over during the break, I thought, I feel like someone else asked that today, and then I looked it up, and it's the exact question that Evan Cohen tweeted out during Unsportsmanlike this morning. So I apologize for straight up stealing his question, but...
You're saying, though, that you didn't steal it. You had the same thought, right, or do you think he influenced your thought process?
It's kind of an Inception type deal. Like I had seen it, but hadn't really thought about it. Then I had the idea, but it might have been planted there from the tweet I had seen earlier in the day.
Okay, that makes sense.
Who is the best sports movie character of all time? So we've had the discussion many times about the best sports movies. Individual characters within those movies. Is Coach Norman Dale on the Mount Rushmore of the best sports movie characters of all time?
Well, Rocky is definitely top. He's in it.
Yeah. Rocky's got to be on the Mount Rushmore. Yeah.
Okay. What else we got? Well, give me some other
Happy
ideas.
Gilmore?
No.
No. Herb Brooks in Miracle. We were talking about him last week.
That's an actual person, though. Should we even count that?
Well, that was Coach Norman Dale a real person?
Well, not. I mean, it's based on Jimmy Chitwood's based on a guy named Bobby Plump, and there was a team that was small like Hickory that won the Indiana State Championship. But yeah, Bobby Plump.
I think Kevin Costner's got to be in
for
this thing.
Auburndale, too.
Costner's got to be one of the guys.
Which role?
I don't even care what role. That's Bull Durham.
Tin Cup?
Yeah,
right? Isn't he in Tin Cup?
I think we look at it. You got to look at this big picture. And then I would say you want to start thinking about Sandler being in there. I don't know.
Crash
but
Davis
Costner
and Rocky for sure.
Sports movies, he's in it.
Does Air Bud belong on the Mount Rushmore?
Air Bud?
Nope. No, Air Bud does not.
Denzel?
I love that movie. I think that movie needs to be in the mix.
What about the kid that pitches for the Cubs?
No.
That's dumb. You're going to laugh. You're going to laugh.
Oh, mine was dumb, but we're going to laugh at yours. Okay.
I know this one will not make the Mount Rushmore. That kicking donkey. No, that mule. That mule making those kicks in that movie. It's as impressive as I've seen. I think Gus the Kicking Mule needs to at least be under consideration for sports movie
you
actor.
Can't rule out Air Bud and put Gus the Kicking Mule in there.
Don't even compare. Don't compare Air Bud to Gus the Kicking Mule.
You don't even know the name of the movie.
And boot Henry Rowan-Gardner in favor of a donkey.
It's pretty impressive, though, if you guys think about it. That donkey would line up with its butt. He's got his butt facing the field goal post. He's booting it in there like it's no big deal. That's impressive.
Well, who was the basketball player that plays for the Tropics, played by Will Ferrell? Jackie Moon?
Jackie Moon, yep. Mm-hmm.
He's a character.
No.
Anybody
I'm sorry. I'm not as highbrow as the Kicking Mule.
I think Sylvester Stallone, a.k.a. Rocky, top of the list. I don't know if anybody else.
I was going to say we haven't gone down Major League yet, but Ricky Vaughn or Harry Doyle.
Yeah.
Caddyshack, we haven't gone down into that.
Well,
path
Rudy
yet.
Rudiger.
Rudy
Rudiger's
probably
got to
belongs
be in
All right,
there.
again,
Yeah.
so are we setting aside people based on actual people or no?
What
Like
does that mean?
a fictional character versus a real person. Kurt Russell
Entertain
as
me.
Herb Brooks is him portraying a real person. I just got one from Pipe Jim. Robert Redford as the natural Roy Hobbs. Was Roy Hobbs a real person?
I don't know.
See, I
have no idea.
I think if they portray him in the movie, it counts as that's the portrayal.
But the donkey was a real donkey who could really kick field goals.
Well, it could. Obviously not, but you know what? And I'll say this again, and I know Michael Irvin will not make it. He should have, if he had done more. I don't know why he hasn't. The dude was great in that movie.
Yeah,
Johnny Moxon, you guys are going to laugh at this one too. Johnny Moxon, for me, that movie, I love that movie. Johnny Moxon, Vanderbeek. I would put. I don't know if he's got enough chops to put him in the Mount Rushmore, but that movie deserves more love than it gets to.
What about Shane Falco? Bringing it back to Hackman, because isn't he the coach of the team? In the replacement?
Shaq, I think you could look at Shaq
Blue
and Nick
Chips.
Nolte. Blue Chips, fantastic.
Nobody remember. We're like the only people that remember Blue Chips.
Here's the deal. The only Universal that nobody can argue with
is Rocky Balboa.
Is Sylvester Stallone and Rocky. Everything else, completely subjective.
I agree.
Including the mule.
And we all
including
agree.
the mule.
So tier 1 is Rocky Balboa all by himself.
He's on the top of the steps with his arms raised like this. Yeah.
Tier 2, are you putting Norman Dale on that tier?
I am.
Probably Ricky Vaughn I would put on that tier.
Palm.
No, I love Hoosiers, and that's not a popular take for some. There are some people that think that movie is boring, including my children. And so does Jesse.
We're going to do a remake of Hoosiers?
Eye of the Beholder. Eye of the Beholder.
EOBH.
Whoa, Nelly!
A lot of text coming in on this.
EHOB.
Not whack.
Ray Nitschke in The Longest Yard.
Can you speak into the microphone, or are you?
I'm sorry, Ryan. Ryan Willis was telling me to turn the volume down, so I'm trying to take care of business here. Sorry.
What do you think, Johnny Depp?
Whoa, Nelly!
Johnny Depp. What did Johnny Depp play?
I was trying to prove a point. What golf? There's got to be a great golf movie that we're forgetting about.
Caddyshack.
Has Arnie Palmer? Has anybody done an Arnie Palmer biopic?
About what?
Yeah, that movie should get
him getting
done.
out of the shower, if I recall the presidential campaign. I don't know. What? Again, I don't. You have to go back. Never mind. You got to go back and look. There was a certain candidate brought a certain aspect of Arnold Palmer's game up during a campaign stop.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't think you should be doing. They should be fictional characters.
Okay, that's your opinion. It doesn't mean it's right.
Well, so Kurt Russell belongs on the Mount Rushmore portraying
I'd put him
Herb
on.
Brooks.
I'd put him on there.
Brad Pitt
I
as
don't
Billy
think
Bean.
just like in real sports, I don't think you can make a Mount Rushmore with being a one-trick pony. I just don't. You need to bring the goods more than once. And that's why Sly has been so great.
But it's not about the actor, it's about the character. So he can't be a multi-trick donkey No, it's not. You can't put Costner up there because of Crash Davis and because he's the GM in Draft Day.
No, I just did.
Well, then that means that there are other actors that have done a lot of multiple movie roles in sports.
Yeah, you can't just say Costner.
Because we understand. Then we got to do Dennis Quaid.
Yeah?
Dennis Quaid is like 18 different sports guys. Well, he was the rookie, played a real person.
Right.
He's the coach in The Express, which is about Ernie Davis. What else is...
Nobody even knows that movie. Nobody's even heard of that. I'm a sports guy, and I've never heard of it. And I love nostalgic old movies.
It's actually a really good film. You should check it out. I think it's on Max right now. And I know you're a subscriber.
How's that hotel movie going for you?
There's some. That is one. That hotel's got some major issues now. There is stuff on stuff going on. What a world. What a world. That's all I can tell you.
The White Lotus Season 3 now streaming on Max.
All right, so...
I'll also say don't watch that around your kids. I'll just tell you that.
Thank God you let us know, because we'd have never known that.
That is not a kid's show.
And I let my kids watch part of Wedding Crashers.
Oh,
it just tells you where we're at.
Dennis Quaid played Dick Vermeil in the Kurt Warner story American Underdog. He played, I'm going through his lengthy list of roles that he has played throughout his career, and he has played a lot. Yes, the coach at Syracuse in The Express, the Ernie Davis story. Boy, he's got a lot of movies. The Rookie, Jimmy Morris. Any Given Sunday, he's in that. That's a sports movie. And there's a number of others, but I'm going to stop now. All right. This was a good topic, Jesse. Good job stealing it from Evan Cohen.
Thought of it myself. Thank you.
And we all agree that the Gus, the kicking mule, because he's a one-trick donkey, does not get to be on the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, I don't think he's a Mount Rushmore. I wanted to make sure he was at least brought up. He's not a Mount Rushmore cat, but he's in the mix.
Or donkey.
How about Bugs Bunny? Monstars.
Yeah.
Space Jam.
Yeah.
LeBron.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bronny.
Yep.
Bronny.
We'll wrap things up next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Brewers baseball.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Spring is fast approaching, which means we have the seams on our mind.
I'm a seam head now. You can call me whatever you want.
Seam head?
I don't even know what that is. That means I'm a baseball dork. All I do is sit and watch MLB Big Inning at night.
Head. I've never heard that before.
That's because you're not a seam head.
Get all your Brewers talk with Kyle, Brust, and Nordman. Weekdays from 2 to 5 on 94.5 ESPN and streaming live on the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channel.
At UW Credit Union, our home loans have everything you need for your next big step, including up to $750 off closing costs for all home buyers. And first-time buyers can save even more. So if you're ready to trade roomies for more room, or your townhome for an out-of-town home, UW Credit Union will be with you from start to furnished. UW Credit Union. Apply online today. Equal housing lender. Credit may be limited as required by program. Visit uwcu.org for details.
As clutch of a player to ever play basketball.
It's Dame time on Season 4 of Behind the Bucks on Bucks Plus.
This year I was like, I need to impose myself more on this team.
Explore Damian Lillard's journey to becoming a top 75 player in NBA history.
That's what really had me feeling like this is going to be great.
Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker, and H&R Benefits Consultant. Find Bucks Plus on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great
Great Impressions Graphics and Printing. They've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years from their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee. Their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
You can accomplish quite a lot in 6 years. You go from changing diapers to dropping your child off at school. College? You can get a bachelor's and a master's degree. And you can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella windows and doors at 0% interest. Hi, it's Gina Della from Pella. With Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, you get so much more than stunning windows and doors. You get the Pella experience. Talk about quality control. Pella manufactures, sells, installs, and services every product. A 10-year labor warranty is always included, so your windows and doors are secure for years to come. Our expert installers are available year-round and can install in as little as a day. If something ever goes wrong, Pella will handle it ASAP because you work with the same team from start to finish. Oh my gosh, why wait? Get the Pella experience and this incredible deal. 0% interest for up to 6 years on brand new Pella windows and doors. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 3/8/25.
The new year is here, and we all know it's the perfect time to hit the reset button. Let's be real, guys. Feeling confident in how you look and feel isn't just for women. That's where Quintessa Aesthetic Center comes in. From now through March 31st, Quintessa is offering exclusive packages to help you start 2025 as a more confident you. Whether it's weight loss plans or even IV therapy, Quintessa has personalized options backed by medical experts to help you look and feel your absolute best. Visit myquintessa.com to learn more. Make 2025 the year you feel confident inside and out.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
I just want to state for the record that this topic began as best characters, and I thought it was a really good topic, and then you made it more like a lifetime sports movie achievement award.
No.
You did, though.
No. Jesse made it into Mount Rushmore. And Mount Rushmore...
Jesse, did you say Mount Rushmore? Check the tape. Was that you?
I did say Mount Rushmore when I proposed
You
the
did.
question, yes.
And that changed the angle of the discussion that I was... Because if it was just a singular caricature,
okay,
that changes the whole dynamic of what this looks like.
Okay. Well, it's unfortunate that we didn't get to this until now, because the YouTube comments, and I'm guessing the carbless talk and text line, have lit up like a Christmas tree.
The people are liking this one.
Do we need to start thinking about moving Wonelli up?
Let's not get completely out of control here.
You don't think so?
Vince Vaughn in Dodgeball deserves probably some sort of...
Oh, he's not even the best character in Dodgeball. There's like three of them.
Patches O'Houlihan.
Yeah.
I'm sure Ben Stiller's the top dog in that.
Big fan of Ben Stiller. All right, well, we'll end it there. Ben Stiller and Gus the Kicking Mule, or whatever his name was. We will do this again tomorrow. Hopefully we'll come up with a great topic at about 11:46. Thanks for coming along for the ride with us today. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on Wisconsin On Demand.
Bull riding. The perfect fusion of strength, skill, and pure willpower. Professional bull riders aren't just athletes. They're daredevils with cowboy souls. Come experience the true modern West, where 8 seconds of glory will create a lifetime of memories. It's PBR Milwaukee at Fiserv Forum Saturday, March 1st and Sunday, March 2nd. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com and PBR.com. Hold on tight. The ride of your life is about to begin.
An infrared sauna in your house? Turn that dream into a reality with Good Health Saunas. ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta here. My infrared sauna from Good Health Saunas has changed my life. An easy-to-install sauna that's great for post-workout, travel, or long-day detoxification. Using Good Health Saunas can help reduce stress, improve circulation, and make your skin glow. You can see the variety of sauna options for yourself at goodhealthsaunas.com/Jen, and you can get $500 to $800 off your purchase. That's goodhealthsaunas.com/Jen.
Hungry? Quick Trip's got you. No dinner plans? Food's here, and it's a pizza party. Don's pizzas are 4 for just